So we will start with maintenance period cover. This is very important. And in background, I tell you, once the project is completed, it is handed over, provisionally handed over to the principal. Then this maintenance defect liability period, it starts as per the contractual terms and conditions. Okay. And this period in CAR policy, there is no limitation. Maximum construction period plus maintenance period, it should not exceed 84 months. This is the limit as per treaty condition. Okay. In majority of treaties, insurance treaties, this condition is there that the combined value of combined period, construction plus your maintenance, it should not exceed 84 months. So it can be, if the construction period is 12 months, then that means 1 year. So that means 72 months maintenance period can be granted. So the total 12 plus 72, it makes 84. But in ER policies, there is a restriction on maintenance cover. It should not exceed 24 months. There is a restriction, treaty restriction. But in CR, there is no such restriction. The only restriction is your construction plus maintenance period should not exceed 84 months. Okay. Now, during this period, the contractor is supposed to carry out the maintenance activity as per contract requirements. And while carrying out the activities, if there is a damage to the construction work, project work, then it is covered under this extension. Okay. So I'll discuss in detail this particular thing. One important thing is, during this period, your operational losses are not covered. So operational losses, including AOG losses, act of God. If there is a flood, it is not covered under any loss or damage due to flood, earthquake, cyclone, landslide, rock slide. All these things, they are not covered under maintenance period cover. Okay. So we will discuss in detail. Let us see. So this is what is written, which I have already explained. Understand? While carrying out the maintenance, whatever damage to the project activity is there, that gets paid during the maintenance period. Provided, this condition is important, provided the policy is extended till the end of maintenance period. Say, for example, your project period is 5 years. Maximum your maintenance period is 24 months, 2 years. So 5 plus 2, it makes 7 years. That is the upper limit. Now this policy should also be extended to cover maintenance period. So policy period should also be 7 years, not 5 years. Then only maintenance period is deemed covered. This is important. Now there are two types. One is limited maintenance, another is extended maintenance. Now in earlier days, during tariff regime, there was additional premium and a rate of 0.5 per mille per annum was for this. Okay. This limited maintenance cover, and for extended maintenance cover, if somebody is touching the mouse, please do not make misuse of my control which I have given. Okay. So limited maintenance cover is the rate was less, and for extended maintenance cover, the rate was 1 rupee per mille per annum. These were the additional rates. Nowadays, since it is going free of cost, so everyone is going for extended maintenance cover. Earlier, there used to be a difference. Many clients, they were not taking extended maintenance because the additional premium was much higher. Now let us see what is covered. In limited maintenance cover, this loss or damage to the contract works caused by contractor while carrying out the maintenance activity under the maintenance provision of the contract. This is what is covered. So anything which gets damaged while carrying out the maintenance activity, that is all gets covered. Rest other things, they are not paid. As I told, AOG losses are not covered during this period. Now, for example, if the contractor damages a part or a machine which was opened up for inspection and maintenance during the maintenance period, then the damage will be covered. Okay. But the policy would not cover any operational loss to the project during this period. This is what I have already explained. Now, this is the diagram which shows this is the construction period. At this stage, it is provisional handing over is done. And now it comes to maintenance period. So we are covering losses during this period. Now, another is your extended maintenance. This is critical. This is important. And nowadays, only this cover is granted because it is the combo of both. Once you take extended maintenance period cover, then your limited maintenance is already covered. So this is the construction period. This is maintenance period. Now, this is important to understand. So any loss which has taken place during maintenance period, not necessarily which has taken place while carrying out the maintenance activity, any damage to the project activity other than AOG losses, of course. AOG loss से मतलब नहीं है. अभी इसके example भी दूंगा मैं, number of examples, where the cause of loss has already taken place during the construction period, but it was not noticed till completion of project. At the time of handing over, it was not noticed. And finally, it was noticed during the maintenance period. So that kind of losses, they get paid under extended maintenance period cover. Okay. Now let us see the definition. What it says. Extended maintenance period. It covers limited maintenance. So whatever is covered under limited, it is covered, plus covers loss or damage to the project work occurring during maintenance period, provided such loss or damage was caused at the site during the erection period. Now we will give some examples so that you can understand this provision very nicely. Now, this is one of the example. What it says. It says if during the maintenance period, a motor shaft breaks, maintenance हो रहा है motor का, the contractor is doing some maintenance work of a motor, electrical motor, and during that maintenance, not during the course of maintenance, during the maintenance period, it is found that it is a motor shaft is broken. Now it was found that it was due to bad alignment of the motor at the time of its assembly. Means during construction period, this misalignment has taken place, but this breakage, this shaft is broken during the maintenance period. So this kind of loss gets paid under this extension. Now there is a confusion. If there is a mechanical breakdown, so it will be a difficult situation for the surveyor. Now surveyor has to be cautious about that, whether this is a normal machinery breakdown loss or this is something which gets paid under extended maintenance period cover. So this is one example. Then I'll give you some case studies so that this extended maintenance visit cover will be explained. Some case studies I'll give. In India, these kind of losses are very, very less because it becomes very difficult to establish that the cause of loss has occurred during the erection activity or construction activity and during that period. That is why these kind of losses are not there in India. And many times I have not seen any extended maintenance period loss. Okay, but maybe some other underwriters might have seen. Now, this is one case study, interesting case study, not for India, abroad. I found it on in one of my in the presentation of another one of my friends' presentation. So I have copied down. This is loss under extended maintenance period cover. A CR policy was issued to cover Brisbane Airport link project in Australia, which was completed in 2012. This project involved construction of 6.7 kilometer toll road. So it was a road construction project. It included 15 bridges and 5.1 kilometer tunnel. This policy also covered extended maintenance period for 12 months only after completion of construction work. Okay. Now in 2013, during this extended maintenance period in 2013, there was a fire inside the tunnel, which caused damage to the tunnel lining, ventilation system, and electrical equipments. These things were damaged. And when the surveyor was deputed, then it was found that the cause of fire is traced out as faulty electrical cable, which was installed during the construction phase. Okay. So now once it was established that it was a erection fault, it was the electrical wiring was not properly installed during the construction period. So this entire loss was paid under this EMP cover. Okay. This is one example case study I found. Another case study I found
Sir,
that yes.
Sir Rahul this side. I have a question. Uh, in the first example, you said fire broke out due to faulty cables, but there were no maintenance activity was going on. So how that thing was covered under extended maintenance?
Listen. It means you have not listened carefully. While giving the explanation of this extended maintenance period cover, the condition is not that loss has to take place while carrying out the maintenance activity. This condition is there only in limited maintenance cover. Okay. Understand? So here I told you, other than AOG loss, if there is a fire loss, there is any other loss. Okay, cracking is there, damage is there, any loss. Not necessarily it is carried out. It is noticed while carrying out the maintenance activity. Anytime during the maintenance period, if there is a loss, where the cause is during the construction period, then it gets paid. That is why this extended maintenance period cover is very, very dangerous. Lot of liability may come. Okay, but we are giving free of cost. That's a different scenario. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, another case study, loss due to extended maintenance period cover. What is that? In this case, the cracking of concrete segment in a tunnel lining was observed by the contractor during the extended maintenance period cover. Okay. Here also, he was not carrying out any maintenance activity. During this period, it was found that cracking has started in a segment. Okay. Concrete segment. Now, detailed examination, it was done by the surveyors, and it was established that cracking was caused due to excessive ground movement and settlement, which occurred after the excavation of tunnel during the construction period. Now, it is not easy to establish. You need structural engineers, experts, and your geologist will also be needed in this particular case to establish the exact cause of loss. And once it is established, yes, this kind of scenario has taken place during the construction period, then this kind of loss would be paid under EMP, extended maintenance period cover. Okay, so in this case, it was established. So the claim in respect of cost of injecting grout into the cracks to seal and strengthen the tunnel lining was paid under EMP. Okay. So these are the two examples. Similarly, many examples can be there, but India, fortunately, thank God, such losses are very, very less. Okay. Whatever losses...
Excuse me, Sandeep here.
Listen, let me finish. These losses are less because many contractors, many clients, they are also under this impression that EMP means any loss which has taken place while carrying out the maintenance activity. ये क्लैरिटी पब्लिक में नहीं है. ओके, तो लेकिन अनदर कंडीशन, इवन इफ इट इज वेयर एवर इट इज डन, then it is very difficult to establish that this cause has taken place during the construction period. Okay. Now tell me what you were asking.
Yeah, Sandeep here. Yeah, that's what I was telling, because settling is the common phenomena. Even if you see the PQC road, concrete road, everywhere settling and cracks are happening. And during construction, they are already doing compacting and all that and soil study. Still, it's settling happens. So establishing it due to a faulty construction becomes very difficult or challenging.
Yes. You're right. 100% right. That is why these claims are not get paid.
Yeah,
in India under this. But if it is established, then of course you cannot deny the liability. Okay. Now let us proceed further. This is what it is. Temporary contract works. Okay. Put into use cover. This is very important in CAR policy because, as you know, during road construction, lot of complications are there because any portion of the road, once it is put into use, and it happens invariably, then it gets out of the policy coverage because our condition is very, very clear. If you look at the period of cover, it clearly says a portion of the project or entire project, whatever it is, if it is put into use, it is not handed over. Only thing is it is put into use. Then it is out of policy coverage. Now, it becomes very difficult because every time contractor cannot take the separate operational policy for that portion of road which is put into use, because many times it happens one side is under construction, other side is opened for traffic movement. Now, if the once completion of one side, then it is open for traffic, then other side of the road is taken into for this construction activity. Okay, so continuously the road is put into use. So for that, this is the add-on cover which should be taken into consideration. This put into use add-on cover. Now, if you look at the definition, what it says that this covers loss or damage to the part of the insured contract which are taken over or put into use, okay, into service, provided such loss or damage emanates from the construction works insured, okay, from the construction activity loss हुआ है under section 1 and happens during the period of cover. अब इसके लिए लिमिट भी देते हैं 6 महीने, 8 महीने, 9 महीने, that is also inserted, but it is a limited cover. What will happen in case there is a flood? अब जो कंप्लीटेड पोर्शन है विच इज पुट इनटू यूज वो भी डैमेज होगा. इसके लिए कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव कवर भी आजकल बीमा कंपनी दे रही है. तो दिस वर्डिंग इज नॉट स्ट्रिक्टली यूज्ड. अ वाइडर कवर इज यूज्ड which says even your all sort of put into use means whatever section of the road is open for normal traffic, it remains covered, but this wording will not work. You will have to take the request the insurance company for a wider cover. Okay, तो उसमें क्या लिखा होगा, ये लाइन नहीं होगी. तो any loss or damage which is taken over or put into use, अब ये जो लाइन है provided such damage emanates from the construction activity, this will not be there. उसके बाद ये आपका add-on cover, this will work for the till the entire road length is road project is completed and it is handed over to the contractor. Okay. Now design defect.
Sir, I have a question on put to use, sir. Again.
Bolo.
Sir, regarding if you say normally if you see all car policy, there is no put to use add-on cover opted by most of the clients. If you take a hilly road, it is a two-lane road which is always open during after working, and there is no put to use, and all the claims of Himachal like all are paid. So without this add-on, and insurer are honoring. So what is your view on that?
नहीं, व्यू ये है कि उसने पॉलिसी में कंडीशन अमेंड किया होगा, अदरवाइज इट इज अगेंस्ट द बेसिक एक्सक्लूजन ऑफ द पॉलिसी. योर बेसिक पॉलिसी वर्डिंग एक्सक्लूड्स एनी पोर्शन ऑफ द रोड. वहां उसने कंटिन्यूटी कवर करके दिया होगा, पुट टू यूज नहीं देंगे. एक और एड ऑन कवर है which is normally given under erection policies, ER policies, but the same wording yesterday I was seeing future generally wordings, उसमें मुझे दिखा कि वही comprehensive coverage as in the name of continuity cover they have granted for road construction work. तो वो उसने लगा दिया होगा. आपको put to use आप ढूंढ रहे हैं, वहां continuity cover के नाम से दिया हुआ है. then only the claim will be paid. Otherwise, the surveyor is not supposed to assess this kind of losses.
And
They are not supposed to, because it is the exclusion.
Another catch is, sir, they say कि it is not completed. They keep upper layer incomplete, a finishing layer or tack layer, and then
अरे
they
कुछ
keep
भी हो, अरे listen यार, ये गलत है. Complete है नहीं है. Once it is open for public use, it is put to use. Complete हुआ है चाहे नहीं हुआ, unless there is a add-on cover in the form of put to use or in the form of continuity cover, it has to be there. Otherwise, such section of the road, if it is damaged, it is not covered payable under the policy, because it is a basic exclusion. Understand?
सर एक इंडस्ट्रियल एग्जांपल दीजिए ना इसका, पुट यूज का इंडस्ट्रियल एग्जांपल. फैक्ट्री बिल्डिंग या
अरे फैक्ट्री में कंटिन्यूटी कवर होता है माय डियर, जहां इंटीग्रल टेस्टिंग होता है इन अ कंबाइंड साइकिल पावर प्लांट, वहां कंटिन्यूटी कवर दिया जाता है. पुट टू यूज फैक्ट्री में क्या होता है वो भी मैं देता हूं एग्जांपल. जहां टेम्परेरी एक्सेस रोड्स बनता है, तो मेनी टाइम्स टेम्परेरी एक्सेस रोड्स दे आर टेकन फॉर कवरेज, एंड आफ्टर देन वंस दे आर पुट इनटू यूज दे गो आउट ऑफ द पॉलिसी कवरेज, क्योंकि उसमें कॉन्ट्रैक्टर अपना क्रेन और मशीनरी और डंपर्स और ये सब चालू कर देते हैं. टेम्परेरी जो रोड्स हैं, द मोमेंट दे स्टार्ट यूजिंग द रोड फॉर अप्लाइंग ऑफ देयर कंस्ट्रक्शन इक्विपमेंट्स, इट गोज आउट ऑफ द पॉलिसी कवरेज. वहां पे पुट टू यूज एड ऑन कवर उसको दिया जाता है. अदरवाइज वो रोड में क्लेम पे नहीं होगा अगर रोड डैमेज हो जाता है. टेम्परेरी एक्सेस रोड्स आई एम टॉकिंग. या फिर टेम्परेरी, जैसे गोडाउन है तुम्हारा, सीमेंट गोडाउन है ना, अब उसने टेम्परेरी कंस्ट्रक्शन में आ रहा है, इट इज अ टेम्परेरी कंस्ट्रक्शन, वहां भी पुट टू यूज एड ऑन कवर दोगे. अदरवाइज वो गोडाउन जहां आपने सीमेंट रखना शुरू किया, द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट स्टोरिंग सीमेंट इनसाइड द गोडाउन, इट गोज आउट ऑफ द पॉलिसी कवरेज, क्योंकि ये भी पुट टू यूज हो गया. बट इट इज अ टेम्परेरी कंस्ट्रक्शन, इट इज नॉट अ परमानेंट सिविल इंजीनियरिंग वर्क्स. एनी सिविल, या फिर कोई टेम्परेरी स्टोर बना दिया, टीन शेड बना दिया, टेम्परेरी उसने वो रेजिडेंशियल कॉलोनी बना दी, दैट इज अगेन टेम्परेरी कंस्ट्रक्शन.
अंडरस्टूड सर, अंडरस्टूड. यस सर,
चलिए लेट अस प्रोसीड.
सर गुड मॉर्निंग. सर मुझे ये पूछना है, सोलर प्रोजेक्ट में पुट टू यूज का कुछ यूज है क्या?
सोलर में एक मिनट, लेट मी जस्ट थिंक ओवर. उसमें पुट टू यूज एड ऑन कवर्स, अब क्या दोगे उसमें? उसमें तो तुम्हारा जब तक आपका प्रोजेक्ट पूरा नहीं होगा, यू विल नॉट, द प्रोजेक्ट इज नॉट कंप्लीटेड, यू विल नॉट हैंड ओवर. उसमें पुट टू यूज मेरे ख्याल से नहीं यूज होगा, हमने कभी यूज नहीं किया.
रिसेंटली पॉलिसी देखी है सोलर प्रोजेक्ट की थी, उसमें पुट टू यूज मेंशन था, तो मुझे भी समझ नहीं आया.
अरे लिसन यार, आज की डेट में कॉस्मेटिक कवर्स आ रहे हैं. डोंट अप्लाई योर ब्रेन. मेनी टाइम्स ब्रोकर्स आर टेकिंग many add-on covers which are just cosmetic, just to impress the client. तो पुट टू यूज लगा दिया. अब इसमें लॉजिक मेरी समझ में नहीं आ रहा सर. ट्रांसफॉर्मर बताइए उसका क्या लॉजिक है.
तो इसमें टेम्परेरी एक्सेस रोड को सोलर प्लांट के अंदर में पुट टू यूज दे सकते हैं ना, बस.
हाँ, सोलर वो दे सकते हैं. यस, अगर टेम्परेरी एक्सेस रोड बनी है, उस पर व्हीकल चालू हो गए, प्रोजेक्ट हैंडओवर नहीं हुआ है. यस, आई वाज थिंकिंग फ्रॉम मशीनरी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू.
Sir, that can be one scenario. If it is a big farm where solar farm है, वहां पर multiple megawatt बन रहे हैं, और मान लो one particular section is covered, then it goes out of, that can be put to use.
नहीं, पुट टू यूज यार सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए होता है मेनली. ये मशीनरीज के लिए कंटिन्यूटी कवर होता है. एज आई टोल्ड यू, जैसे टरबाइन, गैस टरबाइन है आपका, एक बार ऑपरेशनल हो गया, टेस्टिंग हो गया, ये हो गया. अब क्या है, नाउ इट इज केप्ट आइडल, है ना, and it will be used once the entire balance of the plant is also ready. Integral testing बाद में किया जाएगा when the gas turbine is also operating, steam turbine is operating, your heat recovery steam generators they are operating, है ना, वो waste heat recovery boilers हैं. उस समय फिर करने के लिए तो ये 6 महीने 10 महीने जितना और टाइम लगेगा. During that period these gas turbines will be kept under continuity cover. It remain cover subject to a condition they are not in operating condition. वो उसको ऑपरेशन नहीं करेंगे, उसको चलाएंगे नहीं. अगर वो चला दिया then it will go out of the policy coverage. फिर तो ऑपरेशनल पॉलिसी लेंगे. ब्रेकडाउन होगा, फायर लॉस होगा, गैस टरबाइन में एक्सप्लोजन भी हो सकता है, एनीथिंग कैन हैपन. ओके, तो दिस कंटिन्यूटी कवर इज ग्रांटेड only subject to a condition that the machinery is stand still, not put into use. केवल उसको रखा हुआ है, so that it remains covered under the policy and it will be again operational at the time of integral testing. उस समय कवर आपका जिंदा होगा, क्योंकि अगर कंटिन्यूटी कवर नहीं लिया तो पॉलिसी से बाहर हो गया, that time you cannot bring it back under the same policy at the time of integral testing. Okay, चलो let us come back. Design defect. तो डिजाइन डिफेक्ट कवर में नंबर 1, इसमें 3 होते हैं इन CAR policy. It is DE1, DE2, DE3. Let us discuss all 3 because in engineering policies DE4 and DE5 they are also there. DE5 is not given in India. So in engineering policies we give up to DE4 and in civil engineering policies we give up to DE3. So DE1 is outright rejection, exclusion, nothing is paid in case of losses or damage is due to design defect, claim is rejected. The DE1 is exclusion, clear-cut exclusion, nothing is paid. DE2 is a extended cover. What it covers? It excludes. Now exclusion, in DE1 everything is excluded. Here exclusion is only limited to the property which is in defective condition and the property which is relying on for its support or stability on defective condition. Iska example bhi dunga. Okay. However, any other property which is free from defect and which is not supported, that gets covered. Ab iska dekhiye example ye hai, if due to a faulty design, a support beam, column or beam, it breaks, resulting into collapse of insured property, then cost involved in reconstruction and repairs of the column or beam which is defective, it is not covered, including the upper floors जो कि supported हैं वो भी नहीं cover है. What is paid? The damage to other insured property which is free from defects like flooring tiles या कोई वहाँ machinery रखी है floor पे, insured machinery या any other property, stocks, anything which is kept which has got nothing to do with design defect. Okay, वो तो थर्ड पार्ट मतलब एक प्रॉपर्टी हो गया जो फ्लोर पर रखा हुआ है, बट इट आल्सो गेट्स डैमेज बिकॉज ऑफ कोलैप्स ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर. तो ये केवल पे होगा इन DE2, बाकी ये 2 चीज पे नहीं होगी. ओके, एंड DE3, लेट अस सी व्हाट इज DE3. इट एक्सक्लूड्स ओनली द डिफेक्टिव प्रॉपर्टी बट इट पेज अदर 2 थिंग्स. जो सपोर्ट वाला ऊपर का स्ट्रक्चर है, अपर बिल्डिंग्स, वो भी पे हो जाएगा. बाकी जो वो रखा हुआ है प्रॉपर्टी, मशीनरी और टाइल्स एसेट्रा, वो चीज पे हो जाएगी. द ओनली थिंग इज द पार्ट विच इज डिफेक्टिव, लाइक योर दिस डिफेक्टिव बीम इज देयर, डिफेक्टिव कॉलम्स आर देयर. इफ दे आर डिफेक्टिव इन डिजाइन, ओनली वही एक्सक्लूड होगा, रेस्ट एवरीथिंग विल बी पेड. सो इन द प्रीवियस एग्जांपल दिस शैल अप्लाई only to exclude the cost involved in repairs and replacement of defective beams and columns, but shall cover all other consequential loss to upper floors and the property at ground floor, which gets damaged due to falling off structure. Okay, iska ek example bhi hai mere paas. So this is in summary. DE1 will pay nothing. DE2 will cover floor tiles but would not cover roof and column. DE3 would cover floor and roof but not cover the column which is defective in design. ये इसका एक फोटोग्राफ है. Now this beautiful house, this is your column and this is your beam. If there is a damage to this support beam due to defective design, this entire structure will collapse. In that case, DE1 will pay nothing. DE2 will pay only the tiles, sofa, almirah, and other thing, whatever is kept on the floor. It will pay only that. The upper floors which are supported on this beam and this beam itself, ये pay नहीं होगा, बाकी ये property हो जाएगी. Then DE3, only the beam and columns which are defective in design, that will not paid, बाकी सब पे हो जाएगा, upper floors and other property. Okay, hope it is clear. DE1, DE2, DE3. And मैं जरा तेजी कर रहा हूँ because lot of slides are there and time जो है already 45 minutes होने वाले हैं. Now let us go to important warranties. They are more important.
So can I ask one question on the clause?
Yes.
So, on D clause, that is only providing cover for design, right? It doesn't cover any coverage for defective workmanship or material, isn't it?
Defective workmanship or material,
Which is provided under Leg 3 clause or Leg 2 clauses.
Now, see, in this case, as I told you, even DE3 will not cover the defective material, which is defective in design. The cost of replacement of repair of defective column or beams has to be borne by the insured. Rest other damage to the other structure shall be payable. Now, similarly, if you extend this example to your bridge construction of bridge, so in that case, the support your pillars and the beams, they are taking the load of upper slabs and other your RCC structure is there, which is taking prefabricated structure, which is taking the vehicular load. So the same thing, the defective item alone will not get paid. Rest other things will be paid under DE3 extension. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. And do we apply a rating factor for providing Leg 3 clauses or DE clauses in the policy?
What rating factor? What did you say?
Any additional rate applied for these extension?
No. Sorry. In India, the customer is the king. So no premium. The basic STFI and EQ premium is only paid. Rest everything is free. Except road construction. In case of construction of road, thank God, we are still charging some premium, nominal premium, CAR premium. But in all other projects, it is going free of cost. All add-on covers, they are going free of cost. Design defect is also given free of cost.
Okay? Understood, sir. Thank you.
We are trying to kill ourselves. Okay. We are trying to commit suicide. That is what I can say as on date. And we are waiting for some miracle to happen so that we start collecting some premium. Now let us go for access road. Okay. What is this? Open section warranty for road project and internal access roads of hydropower plants. This is also very important. Now section warranties. But before we go through, for beginners, for those people who have not gone deep into the subject technicalities, now just to explain the configuration of a road, what are the different layers of the road? If you look at the surface, this is the surface course, top surface course. Below that, it is base course, then your sub-base course, then subgrade, existing soil. So these are the normally 4 layers. And in your section warranty, we talk of this surface course. Okay, water wearing surface course, top layer. So unless this top layer is laid, the road is considered as not completed. And the warranty applies only to that section of the road which is not completed. Completed means the surface course is not done. Now let us see the definitions. Surface wearing course. This is the top layer of pavement, which is in direct contact with the wheels of the vehicle, topmost layer. It can be bituminous or cement concrete. Okay. Now another is base course, then sub-base course, then subgrade course. Okay. Now let us see the warranty. In respect of road construction, what is this warranty? In respect of the combined maximum length of excavation work, subgrade and sub-base course, not covered by waterproof wearing, that is the topmost layer, shall not exceed at any moment of time. What is that limit? That we will discuss later. First of all, please understand that this is an important line. A road portion is deemed to be not completed unless the water wearing asphalt or bituminized layer has been laid. The topmost layer is laid. Till then, it is considered not completed in insurance language for the purpose of insurance. Now, what is that warranty? For Jammu Kashmir, this entire north and 8 northeast states. The entire north, what did I say? Why did I say Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Bihar, UP, Uttarakhand, and 8 northeastern states. So if the road project is either of these, any of these states, okay, then the warranty is the open section, means the which is not completed. Completed means topmost layer is not laid. So it should not be, the maximum limit is 12%. The open section should not exceed 12% of the total project length. I have given example also to explain this particular point. So this is one condition. Total length should not exceed 12%. And the gap, minimum gap in between the two road sections, open sections, should not be less than 400 meters. It is written as minimum distance of 400 meters. So it should not be less than 400. It should not be 300. It should not be 200. It should be more than 400. Okay, it is like a segregation sort of thing. Now for projects in other state, यहाँ पे limit जो 20% कर दिया, like your MP, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, your Kerala, Karnataka, Gujarat, all these states, the limit is 20% overall. The rules are relaxed. Okay, instead of 12%, it is now 20%. And instead of 400 meters, this distance, minimum distance is also reduced. It is reduced to 250 meters. Okay, so rules are little relaxed. Now, in respect of internal access roads of your hydropower plants, tidal power plants, there should not be more than 150 into 3, 150 meter into 3 unconnected, okay, sections separated by a minimum distance of 50 meters. There has to be a minimum distance of 50 meter in between the two sections and not more than 150 meters. A particular section should not exceed 150 meters and not more than 3 sections in you're not covered by waterproof wearing, that top layer. Incomplete road, open section means which is not completed. So not more than 3 sections, each length having 150 meters, and the gap between the two sections should not be less than 50 meters. This is the condition of internal access roads of tidal power projects. Okay, now let us see the example to understand this. Otherwise, what it says, this is the warranty. If it is not followed, what will happen? Whether the claim is denied or paid, what are the things that we have discussed with one of the leading surveyor. Yesterday night only it was discussed. Okay, to find out what is practically being done in market. And here also some of the leading surveyors are attending this session. I'll take their opinion also, because if they are handling these kind of losses, let me see how this warranty is practically applied. Now what it says, if following a loss, it is observed that the damage to the road under construction is more than 12%. What is the warranty? 12%. Then the loss will not be payable under the policy. Okay, this is what is one school of thought. One school of thought, if the Bima company is very rigid, surveyor is rigid, he will say, my dear sir, this is a breach of policy condition. Your open section is exceeding 12% of total length, so claim is rejected. The other thought, which is here, what it says, this conclusion I have written after discussing with one of the leading surveyor. He suggested this is what he says many surveyors are doing, and he is also doing in this fashion. For example, if the total length of the road is 80 kilometers, what is the limit? Your 12% becomes 9.6. Okay, now it is found that around different sections of the road, they were opened, and the total open length of the open section is 15 kilometers. So it is exceeding 12% of total road length. Okay. Now in that case, he said the claim will be settled on pro rata basis. Okay, in view of the breach of section warranty attached to the policy, because the opened up section is more than 12%. So what he will do, whatever is the loss, he will pro rata, he will do pro rata settlement, applying the factor of 9.6 divided by 50. 12% comes to 9.6, and the opened subsection is 15 kilometers. So 9 by 6 divided by 50. If it is 20 kilometers, so this factor will increase and the loss will be further reduced. 9.6 divided by 20. This is what is the practical approach. Now I would like to know from other surveyors, what are they doing?
Sir,
either they are rejecting or they are applying pro rata. What are they doing?
Sir, there is another point also, is that 15 kilometers is open, for example, but there has to be gap, no? So we have to 3 sections, or what is the open section warranty?
Yes. Ajay, now in this particular case,
that has to be applied first, sir.
Yeah. Listen, yeah. I'm sorry, I did not explain. Here the gap is maintained. Each section, the gap between the two sections is more than 400 meters. Let us assume that.
So how many sections are open then in that case, sir?
Because 4 sections are there.
Okay, four sections are there.
What are you going to do in that case? Total of all 4 sections is 15 kilometers. The limit comes to 9.6 kilometer. What are you going to do?
Sir, in this also there are 2 parts. If open, see, there is open section means before loss, what is open for construction, that will include what one is affected and another is unaffected also. Okay. So these 15 kilometers was surveyor of pro rata is on totality, affected and non-affected.
Exactly.
And what we are doing is, means what is affected, that section we were seeing, and in that the biggest section where loss is there, that is allowed without pro rata adjustment, and that is accepted by the insurers.
See, insurance companies are accepting right now. I tell you, this is unfortunate part, because insurance companies are accepting all 3. Some of the surveyors, they have said we have declined liability. Insurance companies have accepted. Yesterday, this surveyor said I have settled number of cases which are accepted by insurance companies. Without naming any company, he's told it is accepted. Pro rata is accepted. Now you say you are applying third theory. That is also accepted. The Bima company, it clearly indicates they are not applying their brain. उनको पता ही नहीं है कैसे interpret करना है. They are happy. Whatever surveyor has recommended, they will accept. आंख बंद करके they will accept the survey report, which is not correct. I'm not happy with this scenario. Insurance company, the claim managers, the processing officers, they should have their own view how to interpret a warranty. It should not happen whatever surveyor is saying they should accept. No, I don't agree. Okay, now you say your maximum portion, whatever is open section where the loss has taken place, irrespective of other thing, whether this affected or not, you will consider that and pay 100%, and Bima company is accepting. Anyway, my view on this is this pro rata appears to be more reasonable, logical. That warranty is also applied because there has to be some penalty. You cannot pay 100%. If there is a breach, otherwise there is no point in applying a warranty. Warranty means the client has to be penalized. Now, penalize do tarika, either you decline the liability or you pay some proportionate amount, non-standard, compromise settlement. Okay, you cannot pay full. This is my perspective.
Can I add one line in that? Because see, there are multiple probabilities. What you are with the example we need to understand, but if there are, in our case, we found there are 8 sections, 10 sections which they have opened with a gap, and 3 are payable or 4 are payable. So those 3 are only allowed. Balance are disallowed. Means all sections opened, covered are not paid. Only maximum 3 which are allowed are considered for assessment. Balance on, and we have not adjusted pro rata. What you said for the undamaged open section. There are 2 parts, sir, because this means if I see your earlier side, this example was not there. You have added this, so it is good for us to understand. I would request, if there is undamaged and damaged section, how to deal with that? We can.
उसमें कुछ नहीं है ना, whether it is damaged or not, whether it is irrespective of that. What is the situation at the time of claim? Claim at that time, how much is the length of opened up section? You see whether it falls under below 12% or not. If not, it is a breach of warranty. Now the question is what to do with the claim. This is, I don't say that what you are doing is not correct. I have given my view. In my view, you are not penalizing the client, but there has to be some penalty. Now let us see. Okay, we will discuss further on this particular point. Now another thing, similarly, here I have assumed the gap is maintained 400 meters. Now if the gap between the two opened up section of the road is less than 400 meters, now it will also tantamount to breach of warranty. And in this situation, loss suffered only by one section having larger loss would be taken into consideration for settlement of claim. अब दो सेक्शन में लॉस हो गया, one and the gap is only 300 meters, 400 meters is not maintained, and both the sections are damaged. Ideally, there has to be a gap of 400 meters, but gap is not maintained. Here I am assuming that 12% condition warranty is fulfilled. The only breach is the gap is not maintained. In that case, what should be done? Again, there has to be some penalty. You can't accept 100%. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is the other section, which is closer. Okay, that having the larger loss would be taken into consideration. If there are two sections with the 300 meters apart, so the one section has suffered 8 crores loss, other section 2 crores. The 8 crores loss section would be taken into account, and this 2 crores loss section would be declined, would not be taken into consideration because there is a breach of policy warranty. Okay.
Sir, but there is a restriction of length also, no? If they say 2
the
kilometers,
length
so
here-
1 kilometer we have to allow. So 1 kilometer only we will allow, irrespective of the length which is damaged. And say in another section, 600 meters is damaged, and in one section, 1 kilometer is damaged. So 1 kilometer we will maximum allow because there is a cap on length also.
नहीं cap वो yeah. Again you are mistaken, my dear. वो जो वारंटी आप बोल रहे हो 1 kilometer 1000 meter into 3, that warranty is now obsolete. These are the revised wordings which I am showing. These are the latest wordings given by GIC. आप earlier warranty की बात कर रहे हो. Many companies are still using the old warranty.
Yes, policy is having that warranty.
Agreed. If the policy is having that warranty, you are supposed to be guided by that warranty. I agree. But nowadays, as per GIC terms, treaty condition, this is the revised wordings which is being used by majority of the companies. That is why I have also included. I have replaced the old wording. I am using the revised wording. This is the simplified version. Otherwise, the earlier version is very, very complicated. Okay.
Yes.
So let us proceed. This is the example for the sake of, we can discuss further. And the group, WhatsApp group is also formed. And I request all participants to join that group. Okay. Because we can have discussions, queries, all that continuously for another 1 month, 2 months, whatever length you want. I don't mind replying your queries. I really enjoy. And then your video recording and your presentation copy, I'll be uploading on that group. I'll not give one-to-one basis. So please join that group and download that copy for your future reference. Okay. Now let us proceed. What it says, open trench warranty. Okay. So for pipeline and cable labeling, laying of pipeline and cables. So these are some of the photographs. This is the way it is done. And in this, one thing is very clear. There is no different sections. It has to be in continuous process because cabling and pipeline is done in a continuous method. It cannot be done in sections. So wo funda, that is not there. So that complication is not there. So warranty condition is also much simpler. What it says, that insurer will indemnify the insured for any loss or damage due to storm, rain, flood, inundation, such as sanding, silting up, mudding up, erosion, collapse, floating up of pipes, ducts, cables, sustained by completely or partly executed open trenches and or items up to a maximum length of 3 kilometers. So Hamara Bima company says that my liability is only up to a length of 3 kilometers, okay, at any moment of time. open trench, 3 kilometers open trench, any one loss event. So if you have dug 5 kilometers of trench, Bima company is not responsible for remaining 2 kilometers. Okay. Now it is further warranted. One more, condition number 2 of warranty. What it says, one thing is very clear, the company's liability is only up to 3 kilometers. Okay. And further, the another warranty is insured shall make sure that plugging facility are available near the pipe ends. So wherever there is a pipe end, plugging facility should be available. So at any moment of time, if there is a heavy rainfall while you are laying the pipeline, immediately the open end of the pipe should be plugged. So this plugging facility should be available near the pipe end for emergency purpose. Emergency purpose means if there is a sudden rain or there is a sudden flow of water, okay, whatever is the emergency. In that case, you have to plug the open ends of the pipe. And pipe ends for emergency purpose exposed to flooding are plugged before any interruption during the idle period. Another thing is during the idle period, one thing is if there is an emergency so that you can plug, and another during the idle period, such as nights and holidays. So daily after completion of work, open end of the pipe should be plugged. This is another condition for payment of any loss. Otherwise, claim will not be settled. Okay. So any holiday, suppose there is a holiday for Holi, Diwali, workers have gone for 7 days, 3 days, 5 days. So in that situation, all the pipeline open end should be plugged properly. Otherwise, there can be a possibility of sanding, silting, mudding. All these things may enter into the pipe so that your charges, cleaning charges, etc. will not be paid. And another thing is, if the water goes inside the pipeline, then the entire this pipe can float. Okay. So, so this has to be not inside, then it will become heavy. If the trench is filled with water, in that case, there is a possibility of floating of pipeline. So it has to be properly tied with ground so that the possibility of float is minimized. Okay. And plugged before any interruption. Plugged. Yeah. This is the open ends. They are plugged properly, and so that this sanding, mudding, all these things possibilities are ruled out. Okay. Now this is one photograph I could find, horizontal directional drilling, which is commonly used while laying of pipelines and cables to cross water body. Now there are multiple ways. Many times if there is a bridge, road bridge, railway bridge, so those facilities are used by the contractor to cross these water bodies along with the bridge. Okay, down below without interruption of traffic. They pass on the pipeline, okay, oil or gas, whatever it is, pipeline, they pass. If there is no bridge, then either they construct their own bridge, which is very, very costly. Another thing, the safe method is your horizontal directional drilling. So they will drill like this. They will go deep under the water surface. This gap is kept at least 10 meters. Okay. So that it is safe. This pipeline is safe and this cable is safe, whatever it is. And then it goes up on the other end and it is pulled. So this is known as horizontal HDD. Okay. Directional drilling. So this is the method of crossing the water body. So this is technology which is used. I just thought it fit to explain you people. Another thing is pile foundation. Understanding pile foundation. Okay. So this is in road construction, in your multi-storied building, the foundation, to strengthen the foundation, pile foundation is done. And these piles, the methodology is first you drill the hole till you get the hard strata. Okay, so that will become the base of your foundation, so that there is no further sinking of heavy structure load. Okay, if it is a 40-story building, you need to have this pile foundation. And because if you make a normal foundation, so this hard strata is not achieved. That can be achieved only through pile foundation. So you drill a hole, then you put a RCC, okay, your iron structure. Then you fill this material, your concrete and cement mixture. And once it is solidified, then you remove the pipe outside. So this pile remains inside and the pipe is put out. So this is the way pile foundation is done. One pile foundation warranty is also there. This is again pile foundation, which is used for construction of ports, jetties. So in water, pile foundation is done so that load bearing structures can be constructed. Okay. Now this is what the warranty is. What it says, it is agreed and understood that the insurer shall not be liable for loss or damage to piles and or casing I told you, which is pulled out due to misplacement, jamming, or during the extraction. During these activities, if the pile or the casing is damaged, it is not paid. Okay. Then the cost incurred in case of abandonment of piling work. Many times the work is abandoned. Okay, piling work. Why? Because of unforeseen ground condition. Kuch niche rocks aisa aa gaya, this further drilling cannot be done. In that case, the work is left incomplete. In that case, the whatever cost is involved, that cost cannot be claimed under this pile foundation warranty, which is attached to the policy. So again, I repeat what it says: costs incurred, it is not paid. In case of abandonment of piling work, abandoned piling work, mainly due to unforeseen ground conditions, when piles cannot be driven to the required depth. Wahan tak pahunch hi nahi paye. You cannot reach up to the required depth, hard strata depth. Now this another wording, MR 1110. This is very important. We apply this endorsement. A special condition concerning safety measures with respect to precipitation, flood, and inundation, MR 110. Okay. This is important in all civil engineering projects. We apply this warranty. What it says, it is very important. What it says, that insurer shall indemnify to the insured for loss or damage directly or indirectly caused by precipitation. Okay, precipitation means rainfall, floods, inundation, only if the client has taken, contractor has taken adequate precautions during designing and execution of project. Okay. Now, what is the condition? In this context, what do you mean by adequate precaution? The adequate precaution shall mean that necessary allowance is made by the contractor for these perils, against these perils. Okay, what perils? Precipitation, flood, inundation, and all that. Up to a return period of, normally we will 20 years. Okay, that is the standard practice. 20 years return period, he has to take precaution. Okay, for the location insured for the entire policy period on the basis of statistical data prepared by meteorological agency. So what it says, that the insured has to take adequate precaution, okay, to take care to deal with these perils for a return period of 20 years. So you collect the data from meteorological department for that location and find out what is the max severity of these perils which can occur and then adequate precautions whether they have been taken or not. That has to be ensured, and the claim will be paid only when this warranty is complied with. Now, loss or damage resulting from insured not immediately removing, this is another condition. One is he has to take all necessary precautions. Okay. Say, for example, the floods. It says that the flood up to a height of 3 feet of water can take place considering return period of 20 years at that location. Now the insured has to plan, design, execute, and take precautions considering the flood of this capacity, where the flood water can go up to 3 feet at the project site. Now, if he has not taken enough precautions, okay, he has taken precautions considering the flood of only 1 foot. Okay, in that case, and as per the return period, it says he should have taken the precautions up to 3 feet. So the claim will not be paid. Okay, and there is no pro rata in this particular condition. It will, there is nothing, no case of 1 foot divided by 3 feet, 1/3 is paid, nothing, sorry. These claims are rejected. Similarly, in case of your precipitation, your return 20 years return period data says that there is a possibility of 30-inch of flood in monsoon in a period of say 24 hours. Now client has to take precaution of 30-inch of floods, precipitation, or 15-inch, whatever is coming out for that particular location. And if precautions are not taken up to that mark, then claim is rejected. In addition to this, what it says, loss or damage or liability resulting from insureds not immediately removing obstruction from the water course. If there is a water channel passing nearby or passing through the construction site, it has to be kept clean. Okay, he has to remove all obstruction like trees, sand, etc. Okay, whether carrying water or not, even if it is dry, you have to remove all sands, trees, etc. in order to maintain free water flow. So if it is not done, then claim will not be indemnifiable. Okay. So if the liability is resulting from insured not immediately removing obstruction, suppose there is an obstruction because of flooding, lot of trees and sand that has deposited in the water course, water channel, and because of that, the water could not flow out of the construction site. Okay, and it is accumulated, and because of that, not removing the obstruction from the water course, the loss has taken place. In that case, surveyor can deny the liability because this warranty is not complied with. Okay, these are the implications of these warranties. Many times we go through the wording without understanding what are the implications, how it is to be practically used. Now, these are the underground construction of basement. So we are talking of excavation work for basement. Okay. Now, you see there is a condition. So whenever the high-rise building is constructed, the basement is to be constructed for parking. Okay, -3, -2, -1, then your ground floor parking is there, then upper floors, mezzanine floors, all these things, then upper floors will be constructed. So this portion is important. This is very critical during the construction stage. We are very concerned up to the construction of your the ground level, because basement work is critical. There is a possibility of loss if there is a heavy flood, if there is a heavy rain. The possibility of accumulation of water in the basement is very, very high. Excavated work. Okay, so and then it will be a loss. So we have to be careful, and this warranty is to be attached. Now, what this warranty says, now you see, the excavated face or the wall of the trench, wherever you are digging, excavation work you are doing, then the slope should be minimum 1:1. 1:1 is very, very critical. That means 45-degree angle. The required warranty says that your slope should be, now if you see slope, this slope I am talking about. You are seeing my cursor, this slope. So here the slope is, it is almost 80-degree, almost vertical, slightly slanted. It is not fulfilling the warranty. That is why this, your additional shattering material and all that, they have utilized. There's a provision for that. I'll explain. So this slope should be 45-degree, not more than that. That is what 45-degree means, 1:1. Okay. So if it is not, what has to be done? So this 1:1 slope has to be done wherever it is not possible. Many times it is not practically possible due to space constraint. There is a nearby building, you cannot make this kind of slope. In that case, adequate precaution should be taken. Sheet piling work, sheet piling or similar methods as appropriate, as per the relevant design and specification, to be taken at such place in lieu of such slope. Agar slope nahi hai, in case slope could not be maintained, you take adequate precautions while making deep excavation for construction of basement, then sheet piling work. Okay, as per relevant design. Kya lagana hai, that has to be decided by the concerned civil engineer, contractor, consultant, or the concerned surveyor will decide whether adequate precautions have been taken by the contractor before the loss. Another thing, the excavated soil, whatever is coming out of the excavation work, that soil should be stacked or deposited within the equal distance, equal to the depth of the trench. Now this is applicable for trench as well as basement work. Okay, so if you are digging a trench, if the trench is 3 meters deep, then the excavated soil should not be kept within 3 meters of distance from the side of the trench. So it is to be kept equal to the depth of the excavated trench. Now, in case of this basement, if it is 10 meter or 5 feet or 10 feet or 15 feet, 20 feet, so if it is 20 feet deep, then the excavated soil should be kept at least 20 feet away from the sides of the excavated your work. Okay, excavation. And what is the third? Sufficient dewatering pump facility should be installed so that no seepage or rainwater gets accumulated inside the trench or inside the excavation. Okay, so it is applicable for both trench as well as that. So now there is a damage, the claim is registered, and now it says due to heavy rains, the water got accumulated. In that case, this warranty has to be seen whether arrangement was there, adequate dewatering pump facility was installed, whether they utilized the pumps for pumping out the water, rainwater, which got accumulated inside the trench or inside the excavated premises. Then if it is not, claim will be rejected by the surveyor. Now, this is the warranty for your camps and stores. This warranty is concerning camps and stores, MR 107. These I am discussing only important unitary warranties which are supposed to be attached. Now, it is understood and otherwise subject to terms and conditions. The insurer shall only indemnify the insured for the loss or damage directly and indirectly caused to the camps and stores, that materials which are kept, construction material, by fire, flood, or inundation, if these stores are located above the highest water level recorded anywhere on the site during the last 20 years. This warranty is not talking of return period. Return period is different. He says in last 20 years, what is the highest level of water which has been recorded at that construction site? So if 5 feet of water or 3 feet of water is recorded in last 20 years at that construction site, so these stores, they should be kept at a height of that level 5 फीट से ऊंचा स्टोर करना है. In that situation, your storage should be at least 5 feet higher than the ground floor, because the level is found to be 5 feet in last 20 years. This is one condition. Okay. And other condition is they are separated by 50 meters apart, or they are separated by firewalls. If they are not maintained 50 meters distance, because to avoid spread of fire from one store to another store, the minimum gap should be 50 meters, which is quite good. Okay. Or in case this much gap cannot be maintained, then the provision is you provide a firewall for segregation. So these are the two conditions for flood inundation and for fire. Okay. So this is what is an important warranty which is supposed to be attached, because nowadays why I am giving stress to these warranties, how to safeguard your interest premium is gone to zero, almost negligible. Okay. For a project of 1500 crores, you get hardly 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs of premium for a period of 3 years, 4 years. So that is very, very negligible. You are giving all your add-on covers free of cost, not charging any premium. Okay. So how to safeguard your interest? So these are the warranties which is going to safeguard your interest at the time of claim. Okay. So these warranties have to be attached. What is the other condition? It is also agreed that insurer shall indemnify the loss for any one occurrence only up to the limit of indemnity, whatever has been agreed. So loss limit has to be inserted for individual storage.
A slightly different related question, sir. Is the location of camp to be specified in the policy, or is there any criteria for that? There should
No. Only thing is the condition has to be fulfilled. At the time of loss, it is to be examined whether this warranty is complied with, if it is attached to the policy. If the underwriter has failed to attach the policy, it is good, then you forget. If it is attached, you have to see what is the maximum precipitation that has taken place at that location, flood inundation in last 20 years, and whether your stocks, construction material stocks, they are kept above that level or not. And another thing is separating distance. That is very, very important, because many times fire loss has taken place and the fire has spread from one storage to another storage. So either fireproof wall is there or distance is kept as 50 meters. Okay.
So
now
the
another
50-meter distance.
50 meters distance. Yes, if 50 meter distance, suppose there is a constraint of space. In that case, you ask the client for construction of fireproof wall. It's okay. Then you keep 10 meters away, 5 meters away, if there is a wall. Okay.
But isn't it too much, the 50 meters? Normally, 10 meters should be sufficient, right?
This is what you say. I am talking of warranty with. It is up to the underwriter. If he compromises, make it 50 meters, make it 40 meters, 30 meters, or 5 meters, or remove this distance. Nobody can help me.
Understood.
Sir,
yes.
Sir, could you just explain the difference between the return period and the 20-year period that we are talking about right now in the earlier warranty?
Good question. See, this 20 years simple period is very, very clear. You check the history of floods or inundation which has taken place at that site in last 20 years. This is very easy. But 20 years return period is different. 20 years return period means looking at the data of last 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, because meteorological data is maintained. If it is written as 20 years return period, that means what is the probability of occurrence of that severity of event. Okay, if we say 20 years return period, it means the severity of event is not very high. But if we talk 100 years return period, it means the severity is very, very high. Now, say for example, if we are talking of return period of earthquake, say for example. So earthquake or cyclone, So let us talk of earthquake. If we say return period of 50 years for earthquake, you have to take precaution. Your design criteria for construction of building, construction of dam is very, very critical, civil construction. So there your return period of earthquake is taken into consideration. Okay, and there it is taken into consideration for 250 years return period. That has to be taken into consideration as per Munich Re and Swiss Re warranties for construction of dam, not less than 250 years return period. So if it comes to Richter scale 8, there is a possibility of an earthquake event in that location if we take a return period of 100 years, for example. So the meteorological department will give you the figure that the possibility of event to occur considering 100 years return period is Richter scale 8. Now the design should be above 8. Otherwise, the loss will not be paid. Similarly, for cyclone says for a return period of 100 years or 50 years in that area, it says the probability of occurrence of a cyclone. The wind speed should be minimum 175 kilometers per hour. Now you have to take precaution, construction and everything has to be taken care of considering the speed of your wind of not less than 175 kilometers per hour. Is that clear? So that is probability. Return period is a probability. And this is confirmed. You have to check how much event has already hit at that location in last 20 years.
Okay, sir.
Is it fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done.
Good. Now let us see this construction material warranty. Okay, what it says, the insurance company will pay to the insured for loss or damage liability caused to the construction material by flood or inundation. Okay, by flood or inundation, we are talking of only two perils. If such construction material does not exceed 3 days of demand, this is very important. Now, this 3 days can be reduced to 1 day, can be increased to 7 days. Many times things are negotiated. The standard warranty is 3 days. Not more than 3 days of demand material should be kept. Okay, that is one condition. And if it is exceeding quantity, means if you are keeping for 7 days, in that case, this has to be kept in areas not endangered by a 20 years flood. Now return period, again, it is not written as flood return period. So last 20 years, you check the flood data, and if you are either you maintain up to 3 days demand, don't keep material more than that. If your daily requirement is 50 tons, your storage should not be more than 150 tons of construction material at the construction site. If you are keeping 500 metric tons, that means you have to take into consideration 20 years flood incident, and it has to be kept at a height so that 20 years highest flood does not damage your stocks. Is it clear or not? Am I able to make it clear, this warranty? Hello? Chalo,
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
So, good. Now this is 3 days demand. Either you maintain 3 days demand, or if it is more, if you want, say for example, if the client decides, no, sorry, 3 days it's not possible, I'll have to keep minimum 5 days of material at the construction site. Then he has to make sure this, as per this warranty, someone has to explain. Okay, now you have to take care of this particular parameter. You have to safeguard your material considering the maximum flood which has taken place in last 20 years. Now, what is this warranty? Underwriting consideration for construction of road and bridges. Now, this is purely for underwriters. What are the things they have to look into the proposals which are coming for construction of road and bridges, civil engineering projects, which normally we look into as an underwriter. We look into these things. Location, this is one thing is very, very important, whether it is in plain area or hilly area. What is the STFI exposure? This we need to see. Okay. Is there any possibility of damage due to flash flood? This has to be seen in hilly terrain. What is the possibility of flash flood or landslide, especially in hilly region? Of course, it's not especially, only in hilly region. Landslide or kahan hoga. Then nearness from water body, river, lakes, canal, and its elevation. Elevation is very, very important. Now, as per we are using Swissary tool. So Swissary tool gives the elevation from nearby lakes, canals. So we have to see our construction site must be at a higher level. Okay, so that in case of heavy rain, if that lake overflows, then water should not enter into your construction site. If it is at a same level or it is a lower level, then of course it is a dangerous thing. Okay. Now recently one project we were looking after. Okay, we were just seeing construction project. So it is northeast and near the Tista River. When we checked the elevation, we found that Tista River and this construction site is at the same level. We refused. Sorry, we can't do, because even a 0.5 meter rise in Tista River water, which will very much happen in monsoon season. It goes up to 5 meters also. The water level increases by 5 meters. So the entire construction site would be flooded. So it is suicidal to go for that project. So this is what is underwriting concern. Nowadays, underwriting is reduced to zero. At present, the underwriting is reduced to competition. If other has quoted 0.03, I will quote 0.025. So this is what is the underwriting, which I wish the underwriter at least should concentrate on these particular points, which I am explaining. Then nearness, this I have already explained. Elevation Swissary tool has to be applied. It is a wonderful tool. Those do not have, please purchase this paid version and you will get a lot of help from this tool. Then probability of floods, inundation due to high precipitation during monsoon. Okay. At the same time, we have to see the bar chart and look at what activities they are going to carry out during the monsoon period. Whether wet works is also to be done. Recently, yesterday only, I have inserted a warranty. Okay, what warranty? No wet works to be carried out during the period starting from 1st June till 30th of September. Now, if the proposal is not materialized, hardly matters. But the underwriting concern is that during monsoon, wet works is not supposed to be done, because around 90 crores wet works is supposed to be done in that road construction project. Construction of bridges has to be done, river construction bridges. So that warranty has to be there. Either the bar chart clearly shows that no wet works activity will be carried out during monsoon season, then it's okay. Okay. Then biggest concern is when the road runs parallel to the river. This you need to check from KMZ file of the road construction. You have to call for this KMZ file with the different longitude and latitudes of different sections of the road. You can plot the entire construction site of the road. And then you check from Google Earth how many river intersections are coming, for how many kilometers it is running parallel to the river. Many times roads are running parallel to the river. It is very dangerous. Crossing of river is no problem, because the only concern is construction of river bridge, which is, as per the now latest technologies, the construction technology has improved a lot. So the possibility of a loss during river construction is minimized. Okay, so that is not a concern. What is concern? When the road is running parallel to the river. So in case of monsoon season, if there is a rise, of course, there will be a rise in river level and it will definitely swell. Okay, it will go, the water, because the water cannot remain inside the river. In case there is an excess flow of water, it will spill. So in that case, there is a possibility of inundation of entire construction, road construction. If it is 5 kilometers road, which is running parallel to the river, you can take a straightway PML of 5 kilometers, because the entire road can be inundated unless the elevation is at least 5 meters higher than the your river level. Then only you can be safe. So that is very, very important. Check what is the length of the road and what is the your elevation difference, distance from the river and elevation. In respect of construction of river bridges, then important consideration are length, width, number of spans, contractor's experience, okay. Then reputation of the design consultant, all these things. Contractor's experience is very, very important. How many, what is the width of the bridge? What is the length, number of spans? That is all important. Then attach Munich wet risk endorsement. That has to be attached without fail. My suggestion is without this endorsement, no wet works should be covered because we are not charging additional premium. We are charging only minimum net cap rates, even for wet works. So this endorsement is going to save at the time of claim if the warranty is not complied with.
Sir, on the road construction, I have a doubt, sir. Can I ask?
Yes, tell me.
So on NDRC works and wet risk, if these are considerably higher on the project, how does that affect on the rating, and how does the rating done by the underwriters?
For any road construction work, the rating is standardized. Okay. Now, depending upon the region, earthquake rates, they differ. In India, there are 4 zone 1, 2, 3, 4. So depending upon that, earthquake rate is taken. So annual rate is decided. Okay. And it is taken into consideration, annual rate multiplied by your number of years, your project length, or if it is 36 months or 30 months, not full numbers, then proportionately it is multiplied. Okay. And STFI rate per annum rate is also fixed. Say, for example, 40 paisa per annum. So this is STFI rate and earthquake rate. And for road construction, minimum bare rate is given. We are still following erstwhile tariff IIB rates, which were applicable in India. Okay, some time back. Now it has been withdrawn. But still, fortunately, a better sense prevailed amongst the underwriters, and we are still continuing. The entire market is charging at least bare minimum premium for construction of road. Okay. So this is the way rating is done. No additional separate rating is there for any kind of specialized road construction work.
So even if there is even if there is a vertical drilling, which is 20%.
Please repeat.
There is a vertical drilling, VDD works, vertical drilling, those kind of.
Exactly. For any kind of specialized work, even for tunnel construction, we apply the same rate. We don't charge anything. This is what is not supposed to be done. You may be surprised, but here the practice is like that. We simply believe in God. God is going to save us. And so long God is saving, we are continuously doing that. Okay. The moment God will stop saving us, we will think of some alternate solution. Till then, it's okay.
Understood.
Right, sir?
Understood. Thank you, sir.
God is great. Okay.
Thank you.
Now let us come to underwriting of tunnels. Now, different types of construction. Let us first understand how many types of tunnel constructions are there. Number 1 is your cut and cover method. It is the simplest method. Okay. Cut and cover. So this is mainly used for metro stations, ramps, approach roads, okay, and short tunnels. Beams and piles are used for support. Okay. Then generally this is a safe method of tunneling where the depth is not much. Okay. Where it is deep tunnel, then of course cut and cover method cannot be used. Cut and cover when the tunnel is not deep. So you open the ground, start the construction work, okay, then cover it finally. So it is cut and cover. This is one method. This is another construction. Here you see the twin tunnel is constructed by cut and cover method. Okay. Another method is NATM. This is the latest technology. Okay, new Australian tunneling method. Not the latest one, but this is one of the method which is being used, where the blasting technology is done. The surface is outer surface, your explosives, they are inserted, then everybody comes out, and then due to explosion, the surface is broken, and then you remove the material, then go further. So this is the way this method is there. So this is the safest method. This is again a safest method, which is used for long tunnels, where there is a restriction in approach from the top. So where it is a deep tunnel and there is a mountainous area. Okay. So highly successful in Himalayan region. So top, there are rocks, there are mountains. So cut and cover method cannot be adopted. You have to go inside that method only, NATM method. So large cross sections can be made and highly successful in Himalayan region, where rocks are not stable, because blasting cannot be done, or tunnel boring machine cannot be used in Himalayan regions because rocks are not stable. This is another photograph. Okay. So it is NATM method. So your Mumbai-Pune highway, your tunnels, whatever tunnels you see, they are made by this NATM method. Then the third is your tunnel boring machine, TBM method. So this is the most advanced, fast and successful method in tunneling. It is slightly faster because this machine is continuously moving and making the cutting, doing the cutting, and your boring machine. It is boring machine. So it is boring drill into the your hard surface, and that kind of this is majorly used for metro lines, underground roads in plateau region of India, not recommended in Himalayan region, where underground stations, underground situations and land is not stable. Okay, it is not recommended for that because the possibility of collapse is there. So it is used for this in plateau region of India. So majority of the metro trains, the tunnels are made through TBM method. This is again twin tunnel, TBM. Tubular tunnels are there. Okay. Now, what are the underwriting considerations? What underwriter is supposed to look into before acceptance of such proposal? Geological report is very important. Sum insured, cost of the tunnel work, schedule of the project, maximum and minimum height of overburden. This is important. Overburden means how much is the structure, your height of the above the tunnel, what is the height of the mountain or rocks, whatever is there above the tunnel. Maybe there is a city, because metro trains are passing through your busy residential areas, also industrial area, residential area. So you have to see the load, overburden above the tunnel path and their chainage, that is to be seen. Then method of tunnel work. Okay, which method is being used? Then your specification of TBM. Okay, so if relevant, then specification of TBM to be used, that is also to be checked. Then profile of contractor, how much is his work experience. Then TBM crew, this is also important. Normally we forget to look into that person who is now operating the TBM machine, whether he is qualified, what is his experience, what is the certification he has got. Okay, so this is one thing very important. And then operator, crew and operator CV, उनका पूरा detail आपको लेना है. You are supposed to take entire details. Then contractor, whether he is a specialist in this kind of work or not. So these things are important before we undertake this kind of proposal where tunneling work has to be done. Now, what is the typical cost that is to be taken into consideration? Okay, tunnel construction. This is generally 12 to 15 lakhs. This is general estimation per meter for cut and cover. For NATM, the cost is slightly higher. The cheapest is open cut and cover. Then this is 25 to 30 meters for your TBM. TBM is very costly. Okay, per meter cost is 25 to 30. It can be high also. In one of the project, I have seen 50 to 60 lakhs per meter. So this is going to help us calculating the maximum exposure, PML, of the tunnel works multiplied by length. We can find out how much is our risk exposure.
Sir,
yes.
If a project is having a tunnel of 5 kilometer length, it's a twin tunnel. So what should be the ideal PML we should consider?
Ideal?
PML?
PML we are taking 100%. Isme no percentage. The tunnel PML has to be 100%. Whatever. That is to be taken into consideration from underwriting angle. Your underwriting capacity has to be decided based on that. Usme open cut and cover method is safest. Usme PML is okay. But in tunnel boring, where a TBM machine is used, the PML is to be taken as 100%. Okay.
So what could be the reason, sir? I mean, why we are taking 100% PML for
100% means you never know. There is a possibility. You do not know your geological condition of that area. The entire tunnel may collapse. Maybe partly, but you never know. You are considering only 40% damage to the tunnel. But if it happens, if it is a short tunnel, say for example 500 meters, 1 kilometer, entire tunnel may collapse. So engineers, they are always going on your conservative, and always conservative approach is always recommended in case of engineering proposals, in this kind of proposals. If the cost of the tunnel is 200 crores, you take 200 crores as PML. Don't be over enthusiastic. Okay. In case your capacity is reduced to 40%, write 40%. Don't be over enthusiastic to write 100% in this kind of proposal. Is that right?
Sir,
even if you do it, your treaty leader is not going to accept this. They will make it 100%. Okay.
Sir, the tunnel will collapse due to overburden.
It can collapse because of hundreds of reasons. There can be structural damage due to continuous boring operation. Okay. Your structure is like that. As I said, the unstable mountain is there. You are doing this exercise, boring exercise. This disturbs the entire area, surroundings, and the load that is also, of course, it works. It adds to the possibility of collapse. So there are hundreds of reasons of tunnel collapse. Nowadays, of course, with this increased technology, because geotechnical reports, they are taken into consideration before start of operation, and adequate precautions are taken as per the latest technology. So these collapse cases, they are reduced drastically, but still the possibility cannot be ruled out. That is why insurance is taken. Okay. Now, in addition, what we need to understand exposure, like what are the additional exposures which are to be taken into consideration in underwriting this kind of project. Now, third-party liability. This is many times it can be a big liability. Buildings on the surface. You can imagine if you are drilling under the city, hundreds of buildings are there above the route which is being making where this tunnel is passing through. And suppose by chance if the tunnel collapses, or due to this vibration there are cracks in the above building, it is going to it will be a huge TPL liability on the contractor, and insurance company will have to address that liability, admit that liability. If the TPL cover has to be given, without TPL cover, no contractor is going to take the accept your insurance policy. It is required because they also pretty well know that it can be a huge liability. Similarly, now we have paid already. Major loss occurred during Calcutta Metro. There was a damage to the building above that surface, east-west corridor when it was under construction. So there was a damage to surface buildings, top buildings. Okay, there was no collapse, of course, thank God, but cracks were developed in the surface buildings. Then utility pipeline, you have to check properly. Many times utility pipelines, they are broken and it is a huge liability. Your municipal authorities, they are going to sue the contractor. If during your tunnel boring exercise, you have to study the plan and everything. Hundreds of things are to be taken into consideration. Otherwise, it will be a huge TPL liability. You cannot refuse. Then traffic on road. There was a major loss during Delhi Metro project. Everybody knows this package BC16. Okay. So this traffic, surface buildings, this is all TPL. Then utility pipelines. Okay. These are then major region of tunnel losses. Collapse is 81%. Floods are 11%. This is, of course, not a latest data. Sometime back, this study was conducted. And then fire losses are to the extent of 8%. Okay, but maximum is collapse. Then cause of collapse, insufficient ground investigation. Of course, nowadays, it is being given a lot of importance. Ground investigation has to be done before start of tunneling work. Without that, no contractor is going to start the work because everyone knows, unless you know the ground, underground, what kind of your structure is there, your strata is there, whether it is which kind of unstable, stable. Okay, all these things has to be examined before deciding the methodology to be adopted for tunneling work, as well as whether to do it or not straightway or avoid passing through, making the tunnel at all. Then wrong tunneling method or wrong TBM selection. This is another thing. You are selecting a wrong method in that without carrying out the proper ground investigation work, wrong method is selected. That can be a possibility of cause of collapse. Then faulty design or workmanship. This is very, very common. Faulty design or workmanship. Now, this is all about underwriting of tunnels. In short, I am touching upon various specialized projects. What are the underwriting considerations and what kind of projects they are. Now, underwriting of hydro projects, hydropower projects. This is your run of the river, that kind of, which is very, very common in hilly areas. Okay, so here is you can see this passage, this channel, river is coming in a hilly terrain. So it is coming with great force because gradient is much higher. Water velocity is very, very, very high in hilly terrain. And that is why it is always advisable to put a hydro in this kind of your rivers. Okay, so you take water from the upper side of your river, then through the penstock, the water is flowing up to the turbine, and this is the powerhouse, and it rotates the turbine, generates the electricity, and then water is flown back to the same river. So there is no waste of water. The water you are taking from the upper side of your river, and then you are flowing it back into the same river after generating the electricity. Okay. You are using your gravitational force. Okay. That kinetic energy you are using for generation of electricity. This is another method, your normal hydropower plants. We call it impoundment type. Okay. So these are here there is a dam. you stop water, make a reservoir, then through a channel, this penstock, you take the water from the dam whenever it is needed. There are shut-off walls. When you don't require water, when you are not generating electricity, that time you close this opening so that there is no water. And when the water comes, because of this height difference, okay, the turbine is underground, okay, and it is below the ground. So water comes with great velocity, lot of kinetic energy is there, much above that run of the river type. That is why this dams construction, your generation is very, very high. Okay, 500 megawatt. Your turbines can also be used. Okay, it is huge. 200 megawatt, 250 megawatt generation turbines are used. Okay, now after then, the water goes back to this channel. This is the outflow. This is the tailstock. This is penstock, and turbine is rotated through the force of water. And here it is connected to alternator, and the current is generated. We call it generator also. And then it goes to the grid through this power line, power transmission lines. Okay, this is all about your hydropower plants. Now there are a lot of things during construction activity. Dam construction is dangerous. Your construction of penstock, your construction of this, your powerhouse, installation of turbines, installation of this entire machinery. So all these things at the time of erection, lot of losses, they may take place. And the main culprit is flood. In case of any damage, this entire your reservoir water can flood this entire area. Many times this kind of flood inundation losses, they have taken place. Okay. And the third category, which is recently we have seen this kind of projects which has come. Adani has installed, erected many projects in this region. Okay. And pumped hydropower storage plants, pumped water hydropower storage plants. So here the technology is very, very interesting, latest technology. So what is happening, the fundamental thing is there are solar plants. Adani has got a lot of solar energy, but solar energy can be generated only during day hours. What to do about night? So in day hours, they have got excess generation because of huge amount of heat they are getting. So solar panels are there, they are getting electricity, and excess electricity is there. And during night, they are having short of electricity because there is no generation. So this technology is used. What they do with this excess energy during day water, they pump the lower reservoir, they pump the water through the same turbine. It is a reversible turbine. During night, the water is flown from here to here. The lower reservoir is filled. And during daytime, this water is pumped back to the upper reservoir. So that is the best use of excess generation of electricity, which is produced from solar power plant. And then this water is pumped back to the upper reservoir. During night time, when there is a shortage of electricity, when solar power is not working, that time this upper reservoir, this water is used and it is stored in lower reservoir. So there are two reservoirs. One is upper, one is lower. Okay. During daytime, this electricity, excess electricity is used and this works as a pumping mode. So water is sent up, and during night time, when there is no electricity, this water is used to generate electricity. So in this diagram, you can see there are two reservoirs. This is lower reservoir. This is upper reservoir. Now you see, now this time, now you can see this is continuously up and down. This is during daytime, the water is going up. This is nighttime, water is coming down, electricity is generated. Daytime, electricity is consumed to run this motor. This turbine is dual turbine. reversible turbine. So it becomes a pump, and during night time, it becomes a turbine. Have you understood the concept of pumped water storage hydropower plant? So this is conservation of energy, but it can be utilized only where the excess electricity power is available through solar power plants. Otherwise, you will, whatever electricity is generated, you will need more electricity to pump water. And only excess electricity, which is available during daytime, that can be used to pump this water from lower reservoir to upper reservoir. Is that clear? Now, what are the underwriting considerations? Construction of upper dam in this kind of project, pumped water storage. Construction of upper dam in a hilly terrain, it is a very, very complicated job, and lot of skill and your expertise is needed to construct a dam uphill, upper side of in a hilly terrain. You have to choose the site properly. There has to be two reservoirs. One is lower reservoir, one is upper reservoir. Okay, then only this kind of thing will work. Okay, so you can utilize the your existing river, and near that you will have to construct a upper reservoir. So that requires a lot of effort, and it is a risky proposition. So you have to take into consideration all those related hazard while underwriting this kind of proposals. Now, construction of lower reservoir, because if you are using the existing river, now you have to suck water, okay, during daytime from the river, and then for that you will have to create a reservoir. That time you will have to go for dredging operation to increase the depth of the river, so that a reservoir is created for your purpose. The dredging operations are to be involved. Okay. Then third is installation of heavy duty Francis turbine, reversible turbine, which work on reversible mode. This is heavy duty. Francis turbines are there, hydro turbines. Installation of these turbines, they pose another erection erection hazard. You have to take into consideration. Then construction of penstock, which takes water, which brings water from the top. That is penstock. That is to be constructed in hilly terrain. Then another area is laying of water suction pipeline in lower reservoir. You have to make it deep enough, and from the bottom you have to suck water during the daytime. Okay, then only 100% reservoir capacity can be used. From the lowermost layer, the water suction has to be done. Okay. Then what are the other hazards related to this construction of underwriting of hydropower projects? Because they are in hilly terrain. Okay. So construction of hydropower plants in hilly region. So what are those? Possibility of flash flood due to GLOF, glacier lake outburst flood. Okay. This is GLOF cover, which is very common nowadays. So that what are the possibility of flash flood from the busting of that glacier lake, which is there above the hill, on top of the hill? Because we have seen two losses. One is recently, which has taken place last year only. This in Sikkim. So Sikkim Urja, that hydropower in Sikkim, because of busting of lake, that claim is already there, an NHPC claim. It is around 10,000 crores claim. But now this is in dispute. I don't know how this claim would be settled, because we have got a limit of 500 crores against this kind of thing. But the dispute is, client is arguing it is my loss is due to flash flood, where there is no limit. And the insurance company is saying the approximate cause of flash flood is GLOF, Glacier Lake Outburst Cover. Okay, so because of that, insurance company is inserting a limit, loss limit of 500 crores. Insured is not agreeing. He says that my loss is due to flash flood, so 100% loss is payable. 99% this matter is going to court, and there will be a long legal battle. Okay, because no reinsurance company would agree to pay 10,000 crore loss in this particular case. Let us see what court is going to decide. Interesting case. And prior to that, in 2013, there was another case, your Kedarnath tragedy, everybody knows. And there also the Glacier Lake was burst. There was a burst in Glacier Lake. And due to that, there was a flash flood, and your many hydropower plants, they damaged in entire Uttarakhand region. Okay, due to this outburst. So this is a big exposure, risk exposure, which has to be taken into consideration by putting a suitable limit. And GIC says that a limit of 500 crores should be inserted. Okay. Now, another consideration which you have to see, what is the location of your hydropower plant from the origin of the river. There is an origin of river, whether it is the first hydro, second hydro, third hydro. If the river is flowing from here to here, multiple hydropower plants, they are constructed on the route of this river. So if it is the first, the possibility of damage is very, very high, because the possibility of glacier lake outburst, it is going to cause severe damage during construction phase as well as during operation phase. Both phases, the possibility of huge damage due to flash flood is there if it is the close to the origin of the river. So you need to see what is its number 1, 2, 3, up to 3. It is considered dangerous. 4, 5, 6, and down below, it is comparatively safer. Okay. Then premium should be adequate. Okay, to take care of EQ and STFI. But in this case, you have to charge additional premium. Bare minimum STFI and EQ rates are not going to work. And thankfully, no insurance company is doing in hydro. Hydro, we are charging adequate premium. Deductibles are higher because rates are invariably RI-driven rates. Indian companies are not allowed. Proposals are referred to reinsurers. They quote reasonable terms. Okay. Then recent loss of, I have already told about that. This loss has taken place due to GLOF, and there is a disturb. अरे माइक बंद करो भाई। आप 4 बजे के बाद वैसे भी थोड़ा वेडिंग है तो मुझे निकलना है। ओ भाई हेलो हेलो। अरे यार म्यूट करो सबको। ये किसका माइक खुला हुआ है?
अजय भटनागर।
अरे माइक बंद करो ना सब लोग। यहां से मैं म्यूट सबको कर दूंगा तो ये मेरा भी हो जाएगा म्यूट। ओके, नाउ लेट अस सी दिस loss figures. The recent I was talking about Tista River, Sikkim loss. This is the photograph of dam before the loss and after the flash flood. You see, this is entire dam is lost. You can see the condition. Okay, so this was a huge loss. That is what we say. It is around 10,000 crore. Assessment is being done. Surveyor is doing their job, but it will take a lot of. It is going to be a big dispute. Then another category, a very interesting category, is floating solar power projects. These are the, again, new technology which has come in India. Not a new, exactly the new, but nowadays we are getting many proposals, floating solar power projects. Okay. So let us see what kind of these projects are and what are the underwriting considerations. So these are the, right now, NTPC is doing a lot of power generation in Ramagundam, 100 megawatt floating solar power plant is there. Then Kayam Kullam, 92 megawatt, Rihand Dam floating sagar plant, 50 megawatt, and Simhadri, it is 25 megawatt. And these are the photographs. So here the solar panels they are floating on the surface of the water. And they are properly anchored from the bottom of the reservoir. So it cannot be done on a flowing river. River, it is not possible. Sea, it is not possible. It can be done only in reservoir where we have less turbulence. If the turbulence is high, like your Rihand, your reservoir, it is so Rihand Sagar, the turbulence, a lot of wave action is there. So there, this technology will not work. It is possible like your Omkareshwar reservoir. There, the solar panel, this floating solar power generation plant is done, and at all these places NTPC has done. Okay, and many other solar power floating panels generations are there. Okay, these are different types of photographs I could find on Google. So all these places there, these panels are floating on reservoir. And in thermal power plant, NTPC, how they are generating? Because they have got huge water storage for firefighting, as well as for water is used for boiler also, for generation of steam. So whatever water reservoir, they are used for generation of electricity. Their top surface is used. Now let us see what are the underwriting measures we have to take. Now, what are the exposures, risk exposures, natural disasters, flood, and storms? Okay, so storms, they are very dangerous. They are going to create a big loss. Earthquake, there can be a big loss. Then construction risk, damage to project material during transportation, handling, storage. Then transportation risk, transit damage during transportation of equipment and material to the project site. Then equipment failure, mechanical or electrical breakdown, third-party damage, contractual liability, damage to stocks of project material. Recently, we suffered loss in one of the projects which we have underwritten, and it was a damage to project material which was stored nearby. Okay. Because of overflowing of reservoir, the water level increased during the rainy season, the monsoon season, and this project material was damaged due to that. Now, what are the underwriting considerations? All floating panels must be anchored, okay, at the bottom of the reservoir. Anchoring should be done. This is what the warranties to be attached at the time of underwriting. Another important warranty is this, that there should not be much variation in water level of the reservoir. It should not so happen that water reservoir, sometime it is increasing, going up, then it is going down. That not more than 5 meter variation should be there. So this warranty has to be attached in terms of MSL, mean sea level. So your water level in the reservoir should not go beyond upper limit and lower limit. That you have to define. Okay. It depends upon the height of the reservoir in terms of your mean sea level. So the gap should not be more than 5 meters. So in case the reservoir, the water level has exceeded 5 meters, in excess of 5 meters, and when then the loss has taken place, that loss will not be taken into consideration. It will not be payable. So if you have inserted a 10-meter warranty, then of course 10 meter, but the recommended warranty is it should not be more than 5 meters. Then project material. So that time we did not insert this warranty, and that is why our company suffered this loss of storage of construction material. Okay. So what was that warranty? Now we are very careful. This warranty is project material should be stored at least 100 meters away from the bank of reservoir. Because in case of monsoon, the reservoir, this spreads, the water it can spread up to 100 or 200 meters outside the normal outside boundaries. So this is the minimum distance which is capped, 100 meters. It can be reduced depending upon the underwriter. You can reduce up to 50 meters. You can reduce 25 meters. It is up to that. But the recommended distance is 100 meters. And another thing is there has to be a minimum elevation of 5 meters. The storage has to be done at least 5 meters above the mean water level. This is to avoid possibility of damage to project material due to overflow of reservoir in rainy season. This is what I explained. Then this is another important warranty which is to be inserted. No entry of fishing boat or any other floating vessel within 100 meters from the floating panels, because if the floating boat goes near to the floating panel, there is a possibility of impact damage and the damage to solar panels. Then no coverage for breakage of solar glass during the course of panel cleaning activity. The normal cleaning has to be done, solar panels. So during that, if there is a breakage of glass, this is excluded under the policy. So this is all about your hydro, all about your tunnels, road construction, your floating solar power plant. Okay, so this is all completed. Now we come to last. Last item is your underwriting of jetties, ports, and construction of breakwaters. This is wet risk totally and very, very important. Very lot of underwriting parameters has to be examined before underwriting such proposals. Now let us see what are ports. Ports, they provide facility for loading or unloading of cargo. So to facilitate this, port use various types of cranes, okay, loaders, unloaders, warehouses, open storage area, and lifts, etc. Okay, so this is all about port, where the ships can come up near up to the berthing is done, and then loading and unloading activity can take place from the ports. Then jetty, it is the structure. I'll show the photographs also, okay, so that you can get the clarity. This is the structure which extends from the shore into the water, because for ports, you have to dig. Dredging has to be done so that ships can come up to the port. But in case of jetty, you extend that section deep into the sea, 500 meters, 200 meters, 100 meters, where the required depth is available, so that because ships cannot come, or the boats or your other loaded vessels cannot come up to the shore. So you reach up to the jetty. It is made inside the sea, deeper portion of the sea. I'll show the photograph, then you will understand. So it is extended from shore into the water and is typically constructed to protect the channel or the harbor entrance from silting or erosion. Okay. Now third is breakwater. They are very important. Without the breakwaters, you cannot undertake this kind of project. It is a must. Construction of breakwater is a must. Without construction of breakwater, your policy will not entertain any claim construction of ports or jetty. So these are artificial permanent structures constructed. They are permanent structure. They are not temporary construction, permanent structures. And they are artificial. They are not natural. They are man-made permanent structures. Okay. Constructed offshore. Okay. Deep sea. To protect jetties from water waves, currents, tides, cyclones, storm, surges, etc. Breakwaters start from the shore and extend into the sea, and they are designed in such a manner that they act as a barrier like a dam. They are there to protect your construction activity. This is the photograph I could find of jetty. Some old photographs. I could not find a proper photograph. Normally jetties are T-type. So this is one arm, and I could not find that photograph. T-type jetty, so that berthing can be done. So here it is not a T-type, it is I-type. So here you can assume this kind of structure further into the deep sea, so that your big boats or your ships can come and berth near that. Okay. So you have to assume then this channel is connected to the shore, and this is deep sea where the depth of the water is naturally available. So dredging is not required to be done. And here is the photograph of one port. This is Vihanjam port. This also we have underwritten this policy with the help of Swiss Re, and we got a lot of underwriting guidelines from them. And this is the photograph of breakwater. You can see, as we saw, the definition is starts from the port. So it starts here, and this entire area this is open sea. This side is open sea. So it protects this port, okay, from during construction stage and during operational stage also, because turbulence of water is minimized because the waves will hit this breakwater and they will not reach up to this. So it is protecting as a barrier, and the ships which are coming inside, there will be less turbulence. So at the time of loading or unloading, they remain stable at the time of berthing. So this during construction, this lot of wave action is protected to the extent of 90%. Okay, and that is why this is a precondition that unless you first construct the breakwater, this construction of this should not start. Or recently in Vihanjam port, at the time of doing this policy, a wonderful condition was inserted by Swiss Re that your loss or damage to the port will be in proportion to breakwater. If breakwater is constructed to the extent of 50%, say for example, then any loss or damage to the port will be restricted to 50% only. So that is related to that. So that was indirectly putting pressure on the contractor that unless you complete this, if you make it 60%, okay, your loss percentage increased. You will get the loss up to 60%. When you make 100%, so as per the design criteria, if this 100% breakwater is constructed, then the company will start paying you 100% of the loss, not before that. It was a wonderful condition. We learned. Okay. You got it or not?
Sir, got it. Sir, what are the basic protections we should take during construction of breakwater?
Yeah, I tell you during construction of breakwater also. Let me see. Let me first show the photographs. So we are talking right now, it is the construction of port. So this breakwater has to be there. Now for construction of breakwater, you see, this is the wonderful photograph of breakwater. This much portion is completed and this is under construction. Okay. Now for that, basically this technology is again developed a lot. Depending upon the turbulence in the sea, they take they design the breakwater construction, and multiple layers are there. And then you might have seen Dubai Palm Jumeirah, if you have seen your reclamation of land. So it is a sort of reclamation. You fill lot of material into the deep sea so that artificial wall sort of structure is constructed. You can see both sides. Here the slope is much bigger. Here it is slightly vertical because it is the inner side. This side is the port. This is open side. So the water, your waves, they hit this surface of the breakwater, and this construction activity which is going on this side is comparatively safer. Okay.
Yes, sir. Like during the.
I have a question, sir.
Let him first finish his question. Yes, tell me, what is your question?
So while laying the core layer of breakwater, there could be a chances of loss of materials which are being laid down into the sea.
Exactly. There are chances And that is why there are certain exclusions which are inserted at the time of construction of breakwater. Then you have to see the your exposure. What is the exposure? How deep we are going into the sea? What is the wave action of the sea? So all these things, they are to be taken into consideration at the time of underwriting. Every time some special warranties are to be inserted in the policy. Okay, many times this the filling material, the loss or damage to the fill material is not paid under the policy. As you rightly said, there is a possibility of washing away of the material which you are filling. Okay, that kind of losses are not paid.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, madam, you were asking something?
Yes, sir. Regarding this breakwater only, sir. So ये breakwater कितना deep हमें बनाना पड़ता है? Like how deep it is to be made?
Listen, it goes up to the bottom of the sea, na? If it is 20 meters deep, so this breakwater has to start from the bottom of the sea. जहां पे ground है, उसका sea का जो नीचे है जमीन, from there it will start. Heavy rocks. Okay. तो वहां से filling चालू होगा. And it will go first of all deep construction. If it is 15 meters deep, so you will have to go 15 meters deep. And underground divers, expert divers, they are deployed for construction of this breakwater. They dive into the deep sea, and these rocks and heavy tripods, they are thrown into the sea, and those things, they are fixed by the divers. वो manually उसको fix करते हैं चला के. These divers, they remain under the sea, and they position each and every that tripod. You must have seen in Bombay also. You must have seen. वो होता नहीं है
Marine drive.
Marine drive. You must have seen those rocky things. Those things are used for construction.
Then this must be very costly, sir.
Now, if you see this photograph, the same thing. If I zoom, yes. You see, these are all tripods.
Okay. Yes, tripods everywhere.
We call it. Okay, so this is a typical specialized construction. Okay. So these contractors, they pretty well know how to do it. Expertise. You have to see the experience of that person. How many projects he has done. If it is a first-time project, better not to do that exercise. वो नहीं करने का फिर. That insurance is to be avoided, because the person, if it is not experienced person, okay, in this methodology, then of course we should not.
So when it's to these kind of wet work projects, what are the standard warranties or conditions imposed by the insurers? Other than the specialized wording that we impose, what are the standard ones we use?
See, wet risk warranty we attach. Wet risk warranty for this kind of construction activity. And let me show the wordings of wet risk warranty. Just a minute.
Okay.
Here it is, wet risk warranty. Yes. Now, this warranty has got a lot of exclusions. Warranty says that these things are not payable if you attach wet risk mimicry, wet risk warranty. And this is to be attached to all this kind of wet risk construction, especially this berths, warps, jetties, all these things. Now, what it says, loss or damage to berth, wharves, jetties, breakwater, and ports, all these things and the like, caused by their subsidence or sinking. This is not paid. Normal action of the sea, if the loss is due to normal action of the sea, not paid. What is normal action? It is defined on next sheet. I will explain what is normal action. Then loss or damage to more than, here you have to insert the distance. Normally it is kept as 200 meters. Sometimes if the condition is very bad, that port is very rough, sea is very rough, you insert a warranty of 50 meters only. loss or damage to not more than 200 meters. Okay, so what it says, more than, you can insert a warranty of 50 meters. Now this is the underwriting decision. To what extent you are agreeing. In one case, I remember the distance was kept as 50 meters only, not more than 50 meters of length. Okay, we will pay at the time of construction. Okay, and this should not exceed 200 meters of uncompleted or unprotected sea wall, quay, or other marine structure. Unprotected. This warranty is there for unprotected. Once it is protected, then it is covered. If there is a damage to a completed section, then of course it is covered. Then for unprotected or uncompleted section, this limit is inserted. The idea is the contractor should not leave the longer portion incomplete. Because we are inserting a warranty of, say, for example, I am inserting a warranty of 50 meters. It means if the your damage is to more than 50 meters of uncompleted section, my liability is limited to 50 meters only. So this is directly, I am forcing the contractor, first you complete, you start with 20, 25 meter, 30 meter, you complete, then you go further. Okay. Then third, fourth warranty is this condition, loss or damage or liability due to soil erosion. This is not paid. Then dredging, redredging, over dredging, or loss or damage resulting therefrom, this is all not covered. So your Munich wet risk warranty is very, very important. Lot of things, they are excluded under this wet risk warranty. And if you have failed to attach this warranty, you are gone. You are going to have huge losses in that case. Third thing is loss or damaged fill material. This is what I was talking about. That fill material, whatever you are filling in construction of your breakwater, that fill material, lost or damaged fill material. Lost, which is washed away from wave section, that is not paid. Replacing or rectifying piles or retaining wall elements. These are all exclusions. Number one, which have been misplaced or misaligned. Number two, which are lost or abandoned or damaged during driving or extraction. Third is this, which are jammed. Replacing or rectifying piles or retaining walls element. ये सब नहीं pay करेंगे. Then again, further exclusions. You can go through this with this. Lot of things, they are not paid. And then what is normal action of the sea? There is one more slide. Yes, this slide. Here's here. Now definition. What is normal action of sea? So if it is loss is due to normal action of sea, it is not paid. What it says, normal action of the sea means the state of the sea which manifests itself up to number 8 on Beaufort scale. On Beaufort scale, up to 8 number, whatever is the wind velocity, whatever is the wave action, up to that, if the loss has taken and the wave strength or wave velocity or wind velocity has not exceed as defined under this as per Beaufort scale 8, then loss is not paid. It has to exceed this normal action of the sea. Okay, the sea has to be very, very rough so that it is measured 9 or 10 on Beaufort scale. Then only loss is tenable. In one of the case, I have seen the insurance company was very smart, and there they put the condition, instead of 8, they made it 10. They said my normal action of the sea is 10. They have, you can change, na? The standard condition is 8. But if you want to be conservative, you don't want to, the premium is less, or you find, yes, chances of loss is very high. In that case, you have to be, you can increase this number. You can write that my normal action of the sea is up to number 10, up to number 9. So if you increase this number, it means you are reducing the possibility of payment of loss. Okay. And another thing is, this is Beaufort number here. And or the state of tides, currents, and wave action of the sea, which must be statistically expected to occur once during 20 years. Now, again, we are not talking of return period. We are talking of once in during 20 years. 20 साल में कितना बड़ा एक्शन जो हुआ है, based on that, you decide कि if the current wave action or the current tides, etc., they have exceeded 20 years period, okay, at that port, at that construction site, then only the loss will be payable, otherwise not. Is that clear? Then another warranty, it is agreed and understood that subject otherwise terms, the insured shall receive daily weather updates from the local meteorological office during the period of insurance and make continuous contact to the local meteorological office within 24 hours notice of an imminent storm. Okay. And make continuous contact to the local meteorological office within 20 hours notice of an imminent storm and make navigation distance for public traffic to a work side of minimum 200 meters. In Vihanjam port, I remember Swiss Re inserted this, they increased this 200 meters to 500 meters. They said the minimum distance means the public traffic or that fishing boat, etc., they should not come at least 500 meters. Minimum distance, which is specified in this wet risk warranty, is 200 meters. But you can increase. In that case, Swiss Re increased this distance from 200 meters to 500 meters. They said no fishing boat, because near this Vihanjam port, there is a fishing area. Fishing port is also there. And fishing boats, they are moving here and there, okay, in that entire area. So Swiss Re was worried about that, that any of the fishing boat may hit the construction activity. Okay, so they put a condition. They should not come near to 500 meters. And the client raised an objection. They said, sorry, we can't control these fishing boats. So let it be 200 meters. Then it was compromised to 300 meters. Okay. So these are the warranties, normal action of sea, and these are the warranties which are inserted in this kind of activity. Whenever you put wet risk warranty, these conditions are automatically implied. Okay, and you can make it tougher, and you can make it little softer also. You can reduce the distance also, but nobody does it. Whatever is bare minimum, at least these things are maintained to control your losses. Otherwise, huge losses may come in this kind of project activities. Either you keep yourself distance away from this kind of project, but if you enter into this area, because premium is good in this kind of segment. Premium is good, your deductibles are higher, and that is why we have to be cautious while underwriting these projects, because exposure is high, risk is high. That is why the chances of losses are also very high. Now we are open for question answers. Any question throughout this entire session, if you want to ask anything.
Sir, one basic question on extended maintenance. You said to address the claim under extended maintenance, that should be within the policy period. So when we issue a policy, generally for project insurance, the policy ends on the project end date. But in the terms and condition, we agree for extended maintenance up to certain month, like 12 months of 24.
Hey, that project, who says that policy will expire only on completion of project? It has to include policy will definitely continue. Suppose your project is 3 years and then your maintenance is 3 years further maintenance. So you have to issue the policy for 6 years. Why you are under this impression that the maintenance is not supposed to be included in your policy period? Policy has to be issued for entire period up to the end of maintenance activity, maintenance period. Is that clear? And that is why we say maximum policy period should not exceed 84 months. This is the treaty restrictions.
Right, sir. But on the policy document, generally it is written, policy period is written as a premium receipt date to the project end date. And in the add-ons, we mention extended maintenance is covered to 12 months or 24 months. So if the same way it is written in the policy, whether the claim will be payable under extended maintenance?
Whether you charge premium or not, your policy end date will include the maintenance period. Your policy has to continue. Otherwise, how can you pay? If your policy expires, say for example, on 31st March 2024, and the claims take place during maintenance period in 27, how can you pay if the policy has already expired? The policy has to be live for settlement of any claim, whether it is add-on cover or whatever it is. Policy has to be enforced. You cannot settle a claim on an expired policy. Charging or premium is immaterial. Whether you charge premium or not, that is secondary. Because why you are not charging premium for this? Because we are collecting only STFI and EQ premium. And no STFI and EQ loss is payable under maintenance period. Understand? STFI and EQ, your AOG perils are not payable under maintenance period. Is that clear?
Right. I have seen actually certain policies of different insurers.
No, that is wrong. It is wrongly drafted. You please correct all those policies. Otherwise, at the time of claim, the surveyor is definitely going to raise this question. Yeah, if the policy has already expired, where is the question of payment of any claim once the policy is expired? It is common sense, right?
Right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Any other question?
So to consider the treaty capacity for road risk, how does the insurance company, consider the EML or PML figures?
See, in road construction activity, it is a spread out risk. So PML is safely taken as 30%. This is the general guidelines given by reinsurers. You take minimum PML is considered as 30% of the total sum insured. And 30% is also good enough. If the project sum insured is 1,000 crore, you take 300 crores. It is good enough. So in terms of distance also, if it is 100 kilometers road, so 30% is 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers PML is good enough. Isn't it?
Understood. And one more question. So when it comes to the policies which are beyond 84 months, so for example, let's say 6 years.
What is your good name? First, please.
My name is Srijit. My name is Srijit, sir. Srijit.
Okay, okay. Yes, tell me.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And when it comes to the project which exceed beyond 84 months, let's say 6 years plus, 24 months maintenance period, how does, let's say the insurance company is unable to extend the policy further, what does the client can do in terms of such project? Will they have to take a midterm project?
I tell you the solution. Yesterday only I saw one proposal. We have underwritten one proposal where the company actually what happened, they took a policy from some other insurance company for a period of 7 years. So it was given for 84 months. Then initially for 2 years there was no work. Now the client, after the actual start of the work project activity, now they asked for extension because they need extension. That insurance company refused. They said, sorry, our limit is over. We cannot provide any extension to this policy. Now they approached other insurance company. So other insurance company, if they enter midway after 2 years, so again the limit is 7 years, 84 months for the other company also. So this is two-way. Either they change the insurance company at that time. So let us take the after expiry of 84 months. Now the client needs 90 months. So after expiry, they may approach any other company. They may give another 6 months policy. Okay, or 1 year, 2 year policy. This is one thing. But nobody will do that because after 6-7 years, they never knew what are the terms and conditions available. So another thing is they may ask the market. Some of the companies, they are doing up to 90 months. They are treaty permits up to 90 months. And some companies are doing keeping the liability on their net. RI support is not there, but the client says, I want coverage up to 100 months. Okay, I will keep 6 months liability on my net account, putting a loss limit of say 20 crores, 10 crores, whatever is some. In one of the case, I have seen a policy where loss limit of 10 lakhs only was accepted by one company, but it was acceptable to the client because he wants a coverage, because the principal was not agreeing to allocate the contract unless he arranges an insurance cover for the entire period. So that company said, okay, for exceeding period beyond 7 years, I am ready to put a loss limit of 10 lakhs. If you are okay, I'm ready to give coverage because I am not going to get any reimbursement from the reinsurer. So putting a loss limit 10 lakhs, I'll keep it on my net. What is wrong? So these are the solutions provided in current free market. These are the things which can be done easily as on date.
But if the insurance, the client needs a full coverage in the sense up to the contract value.
No, but listen. Client cannot dictate terms. If he gets from any company by hook and crook, fine. If he can apply pressure to get that, but no company is a fool, na? Without reinsurance support, nobody is going to keep 100% liability on their net account. In some cases, I have seen some insurance companies, they refer for a special approval from their reinsurers. So in that case, in case reinsurers, they agree as a special case, it's fine. Then it is granted. But if the reinsurer is rigid, he says nothing doing, I am not going to accept this liability beyond this much of period. They will say sorry. If all insurance companies say sorry, what the client is going to do? They cannot be adamant. They will have to compromise. Isn't it?
Okay. So, but in such cases, if somebody, if the reinsurers are agreeing for a full contract value, does the rate be double or more than double, and will the premium be calculated on the entire project period starting from the beginning of the project?
If it happens, it depends upon the terms and condition granted by reinsurer while agreeing for this. If the reinsurer is agreeing for increased liability, they will insert the condition what additional premium do they want. Then your cedent company, the insurance company, has got nothing to do. Na? They will wait for terms and conditions, what access has to be inserted, what additional warranty is to be attached, how much additional premium is to be charged. All these things will be given by the reinsurer. Na? Is that clear?
Understood. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it is clear. Thank you.
Good. So thank you very much. And I enjoyed the session today. And,
Hello.
Sir,
Just two small doubts. One,
yes.
The construction of breakwater.
Please tell me your name first.
Dhruv Sangvi. Dhruv Sangvi.
Dhruv.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, construction of breakwater should be approximately how far off from the construction of port? Does that depend upon the size of the vessels that are coming in, or how?
Of course.
How do we...
Yes. You yourself have given the answer. Because if you put it, very deep, the cost of construction of breakwater will go high because sea will become deeper and deeper. For every meter you go inside the sea, the depth increases.
Correct.
Okay. So you cannot take the liberty of going 200 meters deep into the sea. No. The bare minimum design criteria, how much minimum distance you want, space you want for taking the complete rotation of a big size vessel. Because usko U-turn bhi marna hai na. He has to go back. Because at one side breakwater is closed. Na? It is touching the...
Correct.
So it has to enter, loading, unloading is to be done. Now it has to go back through the same channel. If you go through the photograph, I'll show you once again. Yeah. Now this vessel is coming. It will come like this. Yahan pe isko U-turn maar ke, then it will come at the port. Then loading, unloading shall be done. and then it will go back. So this U-turn has to be, this much space is to be available. Now, depending upon the size of vessel which are entering at this port, this distance will be decided, how far it should be.
Okay. Another query that I had, one of the policies that I have issued, period of insurance is 2 years. This is a residential building project.
Okay.
Project period is also 2 years on the face of the policy, and extended maintenance period is 12 months. So the period of insurance should have been 3 years. Correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Because this thing is usually equal to the project period only.
No, but it has to include the length of maintenance period also. As you rightly said, if the maintenance period is 12 months, project period, construction period is 24 months, then policy has to be for 36 months. No?
Correct.
Policy cannot be 24 months. Otherwise, no loss can be paid for anything beyond 24 months. No?
Correct. Correct, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, Anand here. Sir, Anand here. So
Yes.
just one question. So for this operational jetties, na, which policies we should advise client, either normal SABSP or CECR, sir?
For constructed, see, during the course of construction, your CAR policy has to be given. And once the construction is done during operational phase, either you give fire policy or you give a CECR. CECR is much better.
So in terms of coverage, I'm asking which
Of
should
course,
be the greater?
I am telling in terms of coverage only. CECR coverage is much wider than standard fire policy. And standard fire policy basically cannot be given. It is for land-based property.
Okay.
Okay. And it is this structure is on pile foundation, which is inside the water. So it is not on shore. So you have to give CECR.
Okay. Got it, sir.
Sir, Sandeep here. In one question, in hilly area, there is a widening of road for 2 lanes, and a hill is cut and slope is maintained. And if there is a landslide and that cut portion is damaged, whether it will be considered in normal debris or foreign debris, how we should treat it?
No, please repeat once again.
Sir, in hilly region, a normal single lane road 3.5 meter is widened to 2-lane road, where they cut the hill and maintain the slope. And even they do grass seeding also these days for holding that soil. If there is a landslide and if that portion gets damaged, so and
the constructed which
Yeah.
portion? Slope portion or road portion?
Slope portion. Slope portion collapses. So that debris, can we consider a reconstruction of a slope as a part of a project, or that debris will be a foreign debris or internal debris?
That will be foreign debris.
So re-maintaining of cutting of the slope, can it be paid because he has already
that is not a part of your part of the project is your construction of road. Cutting of hill. Is it also included in cost of the project?
Yeah. Because they have to widen, no, sir. So see, if it is 3.5 meter and they have to 7-10 meters, they have to cut
in that case, in that case, surveyor has to see one thing. What is the debris coming from top of the hill? And what is the debris which is coming on the road from this slope, which is cut?
Absolutely. Fine, sir. That is
so the surveyor will have to segregate.
Yeah, because see,
from these two.
So there was some debris was coming from top of the hill, ensured as an argument that this is within the part of ROW, which is of the part of the road. So it is a part of the project material.
No. It is external debris, and there is a separate your warranty for landslide, your removal of debris. There was a special have you seen that warranty for construction material? In one of the case I saw that in that slide I have not included, but there is if you look at the Munich Re endorsements, there is a Siddhant. Have you gone through? Are you there, Siddhant? Siddhant is not there. Anyway, so there is a specific, I remember debris of in case of landslide. Sorry, your removal of debris in case of landslide. There is a special warranty for that.
Okay.
What we will pay, what we will not pay.
Okay, so
इसी के ऊपर है. There is a specific warranty which is to be attached in this kind of road construction work in hilly terrain, where widening of road is to be done.
okay,
There that warranty.
Endorsement 111, sir. It is endorsement 111. Okay. Removal of debris from landslide.
Exactly. I was talking of that.
Yeah.
तो वो क्या बोल रहा है उसको जरा पढ़िएगा.
It is agreed and understood that otherwise subject to terms, exclusion, provision, condition contained in the policy endorsed thereon, the insurer shall not indemnify the insured in respect of expenses incurred for the removal of debris from the landslide in excess of the cost of excavating the original material from the area affected by such landslide. Expenses incurred for repair of eroded slope and other graded area if the insured has failed to take a measure required to take them in time. Okay. So it answers.
Very good. Now it replies your query. As per this only it is to be done. So as per this condition endorsement only, the other the soil which is coming from top of the hill, that becomes an external debris. Uska cost jo hai, it is not payable under the policy. It is clearly defined in this endorsement itself.
So it should be part of a policy then. Endorsement उन्होंने लिखना चाहिए.
नहीं, ये attach करना पड़ेगा आपको. If it is not attached, it is a case of bad underwriting. If it then it will be a disputed case, na. In that case, client will argue something and you will say something, and the insurance company will say something. It will be a disputed scenario.
Okay. So what we to consider that endorsement should be included.
Sit with the underwriter or claim settlement officer and ask, sir, what is to be done in absence of this particular clause, which is supposed to be there. It is not compulsory. It has to be attached. And a good underwriter is going to attach all these warranties and clauses.
Right, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you. Thanks for
Sir, Dhruv here. Just one question. I have 2 or 3 proposals in which the constructed building is a hotel premises, 3-star, 5-star hotel, which has an approach road, but it is totally surrounded by lake, artificial lake. Then do I give them a normal fire policy? Because it is an inland lake, artificially created, and like the approach road is there. That's it.
So that is land-based, na? Ultimately, it is not floating on water. It is surrounded by water, but it is not floating, na? Floating things or which are standing on pile foundation. I told about that. But it is on the, like your Udaipur Palace, Udaipur Lake Palace. It is also in the middle of the lake, na?
Yes, sir.
हाँ तो वो तो land-based property है. Fire policy is given.
Okay, sir. Okay.
That is land-based property, na?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right, dear. Any other question? I'll wait for another 5 minutes.
Sir, one small question.
Otherwise, remaining questions you can easily ask now. Time is already, it is past 1. You people are also exhausted.
Hello. Vasudha Saran here.
Yes.
One clarification I would like to give regarding the policy period somebody was asking. I am a retired SVRS person, but not an engineer. At the time, a clarification was given by TAC and GIC for issuing the policy period. The period should be, for example, 24 months plus 12 months maintenance period means policy should be issued for 24 months period only. And it has to be shown in the policy period itself, plus 12 months of maintenance period. The reason being, why? Because I underwritten more than 100 EAR and CAR policies. So the expiry record can be kept properly. Because the expiry of the project, we have to closely watch with the client is based on the policy period, expiry date, on the project completion date, 24 months or something. Because once you extend the period, for example, 3 months they want and all, the maintenance period will automatically get extended. So in the policy, both the things should be shown separately. Hello?
I'm listening, but
no, that
there
is
is
my
one.
that is the way I have been issuing because of the higher office instruction. That is one thing. Secondly, what about the cyber liability to be attached and all nowadays they are saying no? And what way that those endorsements are relevant on CAR policies?
What endorsement?
Cyber liability, cyber risk exclusion, whatever it is.
That I have not included in my presentation. Cyber liability and cyber risk.
Okay. Just I wanted to know. As far as I was reading these books.
Your good name, please?
I am Vasanta Senan. I am retired. Now I am 66, but I just show interest in keep upgrade and knowing all these things. That is why I joined also.
Very nice. Very nice.
I used to also take classes and all for people in fire and all those things.
Very nice.
Your earlier class also I attended. I am a LinkedIn member with you. Okay. Anyhow, thank you. Thanks a lot. It's a good session.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Guruji, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
We have our ex-TSE man, our Mr. Abhay Gujar. I just wanted his comments. Okay, on WhatsApp, we will discuss this matter further and this regarding policy period, and we will get you the correct reply. There should not be any confusion left. If it is to be 24 months, it has to be 24 months plus 36 months maintenance period. So how? Because one particular line was written, na? So provided the maintenance period claim can be settled, provided it is a part of your policy period. It is clearly written. So we have to take into consideration that point. Of course, everything is to be seen. And
sir,
then we will come back.
This is Sharma here, sir.
Yes.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, in that kind of policies, generally insurance company doing an endorsement for policy extension after receiving the claim for settling and reporting that claim for extended maintenance period.
Okay. So this is
without any cost.
Okay. They are extending the policy period by passing endorsement, post-loss endorsement.
That is post-loss endorsement, we can say, but this is the internal endorsement.
Okay. So just to bring the loss within the policy period. Of course, yes, that is important. I'll get back on this because this is an interesting point which is raised during this presentation. Thank you for that, for raising this particular query. And we'll get back because this is a critical point. It cannot be left unattended. Okay.
Sir, one small question.
Yeah.
Sir, this photo you have shown of breakwater and port. So the Swiss Re endorsement you had said. So the construction of breakwater should be in proportion with construction of this port. That's why you said that in Swiss Re endorsement it is said whatever proportion of breakwater damage is there, that proportion of claim
not
will
damage. No, not damage. What is the condition given in the Swiss Re endorsement? It was a wonderful condition because what Swiss Re reinsurer wants. First of all, you construct breakwater, then you start construction this. But many times contractors do not agree. Both simultaneously they make this as well as this. So what is the limit they have inserted? So if your construction, say it is 100%. Now you have constructed up to this. Say matlab 40% you have constructed. So at this stage, when the breakwater is constructed only up to 40%, so any loss or damage to this port will be, the liability will be restricted only to 40% because your breakwater is constructed only up to 40%.
Right. Okay, sir.
This is what. Okay. This is what is the warranty. So indirectly, the company, the insurer are putting pressure on the contractor कि first you complete this breakwater, then you start construction to get 100% claims. Otherwise, your liability will be limited to the percentage of breakwater completion. If it is 60%, your liability is restricted to 60%. So this is just to force the contractor. First you complete breakwater, then start construction this work.
Sir, without breakwater ports are there in India, So on those ports, how does the liability move?
नहीं तो वो कंस्ट्रक्शन के समय विदाउट ब्रेक वाटर, सी एट द टाइम ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन, this without breakwater, it is this proposal, at least I am not going to underwrite. Without the breakwater, if someone is constructing the, say, either the seashore is in that area where the wave action is almost negligible. If the port is constructed at that particular location where the open side of sea, it is just a creek sort of thing, then it's okay. Then without the breakwater also you can do it. But if the port is exposed to open sea, okay, where a lot of your wave action is there, in that case, without it is not an underwriting. It is up to the contractor. If he is bringing the proposal without construction of breakwater, and some insurance company wants to do it, let them do. But a good underwriting, it is not a good underwriting practice to underwrite a port without a breakwater. Okay, it is just like that you are riding a motorcycle without a helmet.
Correct, sir. Understood. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, dear. Okay. Right. Then I welcome all your queries on the WhatsApp group, and thank you once again.
Sir, I think Abhay sir joined, sir.
Yeah, I
Abhay,
joined.
very
I would
nice.
like to make a comment. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. And I was waiting for your comments on the point of your policy period and maintenance period. What are your
I will
comments?
answer that. The policy period is 24 months only, because the premium is calculated based on 24 months.
Okay.
So for that, 24 months is a very vital parameter. And as our senior colleague has explained, that you mentioned both the periods separately, that is the policy period and the extended maintenance period. And both the periods aggregated together will be the final policy period. So breakup is to be given for actual CAR work and the extended maintenance work.
Okay. Okay. Good.
That is the normal good engineering practice, good underwriting practice.
Very nice. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable comments.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay. So let us end this seminar. Okay.
Let me compliment you. It was a very elaborate and exhaustive technical presentation. And I think the youngsters will be really benefited by that.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely, we are a lot benefited.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.